Oh my God. Okay. Can't see you, but can hear the voice. Okay, awesome. Hooray. I'm afraid to reset. Okay, let me. EOS. Hey there. Oh my God. This is a fucking nightmare. Okay. You guys can hear me. You guys can hopefully see me. Let's not try let's not try and punch the computer screen tonight. Professionalism at its best. Holy hell. Hello everybody. Let's start this from the beginning. What's going on everybody? My name is Gonzo and welcome to the channel. Raheel, thank you for subscribing. Uh, we're waiting on Dama. Dama's running a little late today. He is with his family. He's helping with some kids. It kids getting sick. It happens. Tonight the goal professional streamers here only. That's right, Kane. Man, that is the irritating so so much. Um, FOMO, what's going on? We're with Dama today that we're going to talk about the buyouts and everything else going on in the hobby. Buyouts, the SPCs, not the UPCs, bots, whatever you guys want to talk about. And we're just going to have some fun like we always do. Hopefully he's not too much longer. I will DM him in a few minutes to let him know we're live and we're good. But yeah, let me know how you guys are doing, how you're taking with the hobby right now, what your takes are. Let me know if you were able to get any of the SPCs or if you even tried to get it. Maybe we'll even talk about the new rocket stuff that leaked. It's not a leak at this point. They're dropping information. Yeah, taking L after L. I get that. I just want to know what bots people are using for no reason, says Kane. I get that. I 100% get that. I saw a post on Instagram like 2 days ago. Someone posted something about a bot runner in Australia that because of all the bots he has, he was able to buy a Lamborghini. I don't know how true it is. There was no link to like a video or documentation. It was just like, oh, here it is, and it's the captions and a picture of some dude on a Lamborghini. But at this point, I kind of believe it. I don't believe it, but I believe it can happen. They're all paying low. They're all buying low key Discord $60 to scoop product for them. That's probably a good bet. Can't lose if you don't try. Yeah, I'm the same way. I haven't tried at all either. I don't think I've tried at all this whole year. I think I tried once for Journey Together. Then I was like, nope, I'm not going to try. I'm still just picking up product when I can and when I see it in the wild. And so far, the only thing I've picked up for retail is one build and battle, or not build and battle, one booster bundle for Prismatic Evolutions. Didn't get anything. Everything else I picked up is at market price at like Frankenstein's or Ninja Exchange. I'm using Skynet for all my products, says collector. Currently hiring software engineers. Yeah, I mean, that seems to be the only thing that we can do right now, right? My wife is texting me. That seems to be like the only thing we can do, right? Is just hopefully get it. Did anyone chat get product? No, everyone's saying no. It sounds like. Let me text Dama or DM him really quick. Cool. Yeah, there's really not much we can do. I feel like there's just so much going on, and I talked about it with some other curators in the past and some who are software engineers. In order to combat these bots, they have to know what code they're using, and once they find out what code they're using, they're already ahead of the game because they have 3 to 4 other bots on standby. So once Pokemon Center finds a way to beat the current bots, it's not going to matter because they have another one ready that they're not ready for. Twice Baked Jake made a great point. A lottery system. I mean, lottery system can't hurt, but I feel like a lot of people are going to feel jaded about it more than this. I missed every Blooming Waters drop today and was in line as soon as the cart opened up. I didn't even know there's a Blooming Waters drop. I don't think I'm in any Discord that has like drop information. Like, oh, GameStop dropped, Amazon dropped, Amazon, Target, all that stuff. I don't think I'm in any of those Discords. If I am, I don't have the notifications on. Yeah, I know Rock. What did Rock say? Or what did Merc say? Most Edge I have is rattle notifications. Yeah. Ooh, someone made oh yeah, I need to watch Merc's video later today. I haven't seen it yet, but I saw it was about tag. I'm excited to watch that one. Feel like lottery system doesn't work just because then you have even less of a chance. It's less of a chance, and then there's still going to be those people that will have like dozens and dozens of duplicate accounts, because that's how we know a lot of people are getting past the system on Pokemon Center. They're not flagging the address, they're just flagging the email. And I think they need to start flagging the address, because if I have 7 accounts and I'll send them to my home or my PO box, like they're not catching on that we're just getting around it. And I think that's I think that's what they need to focus on more. Opossum's video on Twice Baked Jake was the video I was referring to. Oh yeah. So Opossum didn't directly call him out and say he's doing it. But I do understand I'm not saying you misunderstood that, FOMO. I'm just saying if you look in the comments, people are saying he said that. He didn't say that. Like, he was saying, like, because even in my videos, I've seen it. Even Shinyverse video. If that's probably going to be the best example. If Shinyvert doesn't promote his own product on his videos or on his channel, YouTube will do it for him, and it's usually some random reseller that's using the Walmart app. So I personally think that's what happened with Jake. He didn't try to push any product on there, so YouTube did it himself, and it just had to be the irony that it was a StockX for that particular item. Give us more Pokemon. We want more. Yes. Hey, you got 90 on a quiz? That's awesome, man. Congrats. No one was asking, Rock. No one was asking. Rock, I'm about to send you the link so you can jump in for a little bit until Dama gets in. I hope all the new people in the hobby hate megas. Probably. I think some are gonna hate megas because they're changing the style. That's not what the Charizard he grew up with is. But I think a lot of people they're already hyped for megas from the people who know what they are. So I personally think people are gonna they're not gonna treat megas like terrestrial Pokemon or Dynamax or VMAX Pokemon. That's just my personal opinion. Leonhardt made another video. I hope it's better than the one he did last time, and I hope he keeps it up this time. Megas are fire, says FOMO. I agree. I 100% agree. Yeah, the semester is mine. Yeah, it is. Man. Okay. Dama replied. All he said was, damn. He's leaving Target now. So he had to go, like I said, he had to go pick up some stuff for a sick kid. So I don't know how far Target is from his house, but I'm assuming 10, 15 minutes will be good, guys. But yeah, just let me know what you guys are doing. The trade up challenge. Oh my God, he does it from a paperclip to an ETB because he's Lee. Oh, a coin? Is it a coin or a paperclip? Let's. Can I scroll through it? Should I scroll through it? Coin, my bad. It's a 30-minute video. Hold on.
Sent it to us, confirming.
So
this on the way.
Well, this is an ad. I personally hate bots. GG.
Hey. The only problem is now there is a problem, but I know the case is cracked right there.
Oh, the case is cracked, guys. So So he's trying to get a PSA 10 Umbreon in 3 hours. Is that his goal for this video? I'll trade you a penny for this PSA 10 gold star. Yeah. I mean, we've seen trade ups before. I don't think it's anything crazy. I think he just missed the trend too late because it's been a while since it happened. A gold wristband. That's a lot of people for a VIP hour. Is this looks like the same venue card party was at last year? Oh, it's not though. It looked like it, but it wasn't.
The coin of destiny. Actually, this coin is special because it was one of the first ones I used when I began learning how to play the Pokemon TCG competitively. It comes from the 151 UPC collection box.
Okay, so he's giving the history of the coin.
I think I will take it. Okay, that sounds good. All right, let's shake on it.
A coin for what Eevee was it?
Absolutely. Everyone likes Eevee, so. Not only that, but it's the Pokemon card gym. Can you
It's a
explain the significance of that card at all?
Okay, so like, are they giving him extra stuff just because he's Leonhardt, or do you guys think it's an actual fair trade up for most of the cards? Because I haven't read what do the comments say? I have nothing against Leonhardt getting some of my favorable deals due to street cred and character, but it would be cool if in the future he did this challenge while simultaneously a random person without his street cred did the same challenge. Literally, the only reason people train up for him is exposure on their channel. Yeah, this is what I was afraid of. Because I saw the thumbnail and I kind of figured this would happen. I feel for him because we kind of did the same thing at a trade night, at a local trade night. It was me and 4 other people in the community, and I feel like I got the better deals and trades than the other people because of who I am in the community and because of Pat, unfortunately. Because I got the war turtle from 151. Is it the war turtle or the Squirtle? I think it's the war turtle. Let me. Oops. I am missing a card. Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah, the War Turtle from 151. I was able to buy it for $15 instead of 25. Maybe it's because they like me better, but who knows? Oh, well, Rock, there was 2 of them. You missed the part where you broke the rule on the first trade. Dude, how's it going, Gonzo? says Rock Sandy son. Rock son, how you doing, man? I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're good. Hope you're doing okay. Rock, you have a pebble? Yes, he does. Yeah. That's a good trade. Dude, he wanted to trade a Shining Fates ETB for a Hidden Fate. What the fuck? Really? He didn't make the trade, did he? I'll have to watch it later. That's wild. That is a kid. Hello, kid. That's a wild trade. Like, I don't even think Leonhardt, with the credibility he has, Rev, Pat, Danny, Nate, I don't think any of them in their right mind would do that and expect it. That was the first time in over 2 years I watched a Leonhardt video. Thanks, Gonzo. And we didn't even finish it. Doing well. How about you? I'm good. We're just waiting on Dama. He had to do an emergency run to Target. His kid's sick. So I'm just hanging out with y'all. I hope you guys are doing good tonight. We watched some of the Leonhardt video. I agree with the comments. I haven't watched the whole video yet. I'm going to watch it later, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to agree with the comments, unfortunately, on this one. Unfortunately, just like the last one too, I get that we as content creators, we get inspired by other creators, but that was copy and paste, and I don't think he meant any harm. I personally think he should have kept it up, maybe just made a pinned comment or added something in the description saying like, hey, I understand you guys think this way, but yeah. They did not take the trade, but he got a 151 ETB. See, I think that's definitely a more reasonable trade for that. Because what? Shining Fates and Paldean Fates, was it Paldean Fates or Shining Fates you said? Shining Fates. Shining Fates for a Hidden Fates ETB, that is crazy. Like, you're trying to double the money right away. And that's just insane, right? Like, I'm not the only one who's think that's crazy. Clutch the God with the eye emoji. Hey, Clutch, how you doing, my man? Hidden Fate, yeah. So Shining Fates for Hidden Fates, but was it the same vendor that he got the trade? Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, they did for video sakes. For that video sake, yeah. I wouldn't doubt it. Clutch alt. What? I don't know. Looking for some singles. There's always some hot singles in your area. He ended up with Champion's Path. Gross. That's not fair. Champion's Path has some decent cards. Of course, the Charizard. Let's get a reminder of what they are. Did I freeze again? Why did that pop up? Go away. Okay, that's what I want. So Champion's Path. I don't even remember if any of their cards were playable, to be honest. I personally like the VMAX cards. These ones, I think they look really nice. They're borderline full arts to me. I didn't say they're full arts. I said borderline. But of course, most people, when they're thinking of Champion's Path, they're thinking of the full arts and the rainbows. I like the Hop card. That's the only trainer full art. Then Kabu and Piers Rainbow, Gardevoir, Dreadnought, of course the Charizard and the shiny Charizard. How many suspicious tins did you guys open before getting any of the actual big hits? Rock got hella kids out here in the streets. Rock is from the streets. You guys don't know. Love the shiny Charizard. I like it too. It's a great Charizard. It is. But I don't think this Charizard is worth the hype and the price tag on a Champions Path ETB at all. Like, I like the rainbow one a little better myself. It's the Dynamax version. I like the rainbow cards. I think they look great. It's not, I mean, it's $70 difference between the shiny and this one isn't bad. But how much is a Champions Path ETB now? Like 150? Rock got Riz. It's a suspicious amount. It was good for a time. Yeah. I mean, I think I pulled like 5 or 6 suspicious tins. And that's crazy that that's the only gold card in this set. I've pulled a ton of these Cursula Vs. A ton. I got the Cursulas in the Grap Locked a lot. I don't know. I think I got one Gardevoir Rainbow, and that was it. I still haven't pulled this Charizard, and I probably won't. I probably won't pull it ever. I'm not going to open up anymore. Like I said, I'm not going to be buying any of these ETBs for a while. I don't think they're worth the price tag anymore. According to the vendor in the video, the price, yeah. Rock is the only one who rizzed up a Pokemon, a water type. Nope. No, we didn't. Not yet, anyways. Okay. Dama said he's going to be home in about 20 minutes. And that was 10 minutes ago. So, yeah, like another 10, 15 minutes. Dama should be in. And we can rediscuss everything we just talked about, because I'm sure Dama has some takes that we want to hear. That's why he's on the channel. Did you know that in terms of male and female breeding? No, I did not know. We're not going to discuss that. Yeah. Not today, Junior. Any weird pickups lately? I think the only weird pickup I got lately is going to be part of tonight's giveaway from that challenge that I was talking about earlier. I did lose the challenge. My page did not win, but I picked up this Taiwanese Beedrill. I picked it up for $1. I think these things are cool. They're thick. They're really thick. I think they're really cool. The chibi art style is amazing. They are Taiwanese cards. They're not fake. They're just Taiwanese. I think the vendor said they're like, they're kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? They're just collectible. They're just collectibles, but they're like part of a smaller like game in Taiwan. They are really sick. What's up, brother? Says Kev the Poke Ghost. Billy and Rubik's, thank you for joining the Mullet Mob. How you doing, my friends? How you guys doing? Speaking of Billy, that made me think. So if you guys haven't downloaded the Collector app yet, it's not a sponsorship. I just really like the app. I use it very frequently whenever I get the chance, and definitely when I'm doing the challenges for these cards where I need to know the price and I need to keep it under a certain amount. Billy, thank you I'm assuming it's Billy. Thank you so much for the 10 gifted to the Mullet Mob. That means the world to me. Thank you so much. Only 4 months. I feel like years. No, Kev the Poke Ghost. It's only been 4 months. I wish it was years. Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. We have Kid, Clutch, Cocaine. I love it. Sean Bowden, Professor Metri, Inked Penguin, some love from me to you. I almost read your name. That you got it. B-Pop, TCG Verse, Papa Proof, and yep. They guys, please give your thanks to Billy. Billy, thank you so much. It means the world to me. How are you guys doing up there to the neighbors of the North? I still love you guys, even though some of America doesn't. I love the Canadians. You guys are good people. Everyone's saying thank you to Billy. That's awesome. Yes, it's Billy. Rubik's is cuddling the cat. Fish, hey Fish, how you doing? You're good people. No, you're good people, and I stand by that. Yeah, man. I saw the picture of your husband cuddling the cat earlier today. I want a cat so much. I am a dog person 100%, but I love cats. My wife and mother-in-law, they do not like cats. So no cats for us. Yeah. Fish can't swim. How you doing? Cocaine. Thank you, Billy. Yeah. You know what? Let's do that. Can I do that right, meow? Might as well. All animals are a blessing to the household. Okay, perfect. I can. This is what we're going to do. While we're waiting for Dama to come in, I'm going to show off the cards that we are going to be giving away later tonight. If it will focus, that'd be great. Perfect. So like I said, these are the cards. I did a binder challenge, a $50 binder challenge at my local trade store. You have $50. You had to fill a page, and we voted on Instagram. I lost. I was gonna give away the cards anyways because it was literally the winner. It was a take all. So if you lost, you lost your cards. If I won, I would have won 4 other binders, and I would have given all of them away. But the winner decided that we keep our cards. We just give them away to our community. And then he added 2 cards from his binder. So we got 11 cards that we're going to be giving away tonight. And I'm never lucky with the gifted memberships. Rock Sandy Sun. Yeah, it is just a random luck of the draw. In order to get it, you do have to make sure the setting is on. I personally don't know how to make sure that setting's on. But we are going to give away a War Turtle, an Ashes Greninja EX, Jasmine's Gaze Full Art, the Hisuian Growlithe, Larvesta Art Rare, the Taiwanese Beedrill, a Flapple, an Ice-Q, Charizard, the Palafin, and an SAR Blood Moon Ursaluna from Terrestrial Festival. I actually did get this within my $50. So the ones that I got for my $50 were the Ice-Q, Palafin, the Taiwanese card, the Flapple, Larvesta, the Growlithe, Jasmine's Gaze, Ash Greninja, War Turtle, and the Taiwanese card. Mike Enders, I wasn't even here, but thanks for the gifties, says Mike. Mike, you were gifted from Billy. Sheesh, that Blood Moon. Yeah. So my goal and strategy for this set, for the $50, was I was going to open a pack. I was going to open up a pack and try to get a big hit. And this was my very first hit of my binder. I actually got it from one pack from Rips and Hits out here in San Diego. If you guys watch any of my videos or Pat's videos, you guys know who Rips and Hits are. Eric, shout out to you guys. Amazing stuff. The Blood Moon is smexy. It's so good. Why do they call it the Taiwanese cards? They call them Taiwanese cards because they're from Taiwan. That's all the information I know about it. Is that Yogi Bear? Yeah, it is. But the War Turtle, I think I definitely would have went over my budget, or because if you went over the budget, you automatically lost. And if you didn't get 9 cards within the hour, you automatically lost. But I took the challenge and I got the War Turtle. They only charged me $15 instead of $25. And I knew it was $25 because, like I said, I was using the Collector app to check the prices on these cards at the time. Shout out Collector. Again, not sponsored. Just like to use the app. I think they're really good. But I use the Collector app and then I negotiate from there. And these are the 2 cards that the winner added. So all these will be given away to somebody later tonight. And of course, you guys know I will add some extra goodies. Let me put that back down. Yeah. So hopefully you guys win tonight. Thanks for the gifted. Billy says, Inked Penguin. Inked, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you, Kev. What did Kev do? Sheesh, that Blood Moon. Kev do something else? Must have missed it. Papa Proof says, hi, how you doing? Nice to see you here, man. I know you guys, if you guys are looking for Dama, waiting for Dama, he's on his way home. He had to do an emergency run to Target. Family, kids are sick, and I totally understand. But I didn't want to leave you guys hanging too much because I don't like being late. But at the same time, I also understand priorities come first. Yeah. So speaking of priorities, I saw a story. I'm not gonna give shit to the person who posted it or give shit to the person who. So it was essentially a screenshot from Discord. I'm not gonna give shit to the person who initially wrote out their information, wrote out their text, anything like that. And I'm not gonna give shit to the person who shared it because I also don't know what their feelings are. They just share the screenshot. But I personally I don't feel guilty. I don't feel sympathy or anything for somebody who called out of work sick to sit down because there was a rumor that there's a Pokemon Center drop happening and you need to get there for the pre-orders or just even the orders. If you call in sick for this, that's on you. That's not because of the state of the hobby. Like I get it. The hobby sucks right now, especially with pre-orders and some sets coming out. Like it's a gamble, but you should never call in sick to work. This is my personal opinion. Don't call in sick to work for cardboard. It's going to be there. Even if it's not, it's okay. Make the priorities your family, because that's like in the message is like, I missed out on making money for this. Like, not only did you miss, even if you got into the line and you bought the cards, not only did you miss out money for calling in sick to work, you spent money to buy the card. So it's a lose-lose situation when you're like that. Yeah, that happened. Yo, says Jay's Corner. How you doing? You might have to hit all chat, Gonzo. All chat for what? Who am I hitting? Why am I hitting people? Yeah. What's up, Chris? Says the bald-headed collector. Yeah, it's crazy to me. You're not going to get sympathy from me for if you call in sick to buy Pokemon cards. We will make our own choices. I side with you. It will be there eventually. It's called work ethic. If you're going to do it, don't complain about it. Yeah, exactly. It's a gamble. It's 100% a gamble if you're going to log onto the website anyways. And I don't know what this guy's job is. They never talk about it. Some people have that luxury that they can multitask and be at a computer, be at a phone, and be there when the drop happens. And others are not. In my previous line of work, I definitely was not able to do that. But that's okay. Like it's gonna get back there. I was actually feeling a little sick, though, not gonna lie. just a little sick, right? Gonzo, says Katie. Hey, Katie. Your lovely man was just here a second ago. He might still be here. He might be lurking. Chilling, bud. Staying so much. Yeah, I'll be listening. What's up, Kev? Oh, Jay's lurking. He's a lurker. Yeah, Jay's good people sometimes. He just wants to make sure you're awake and you're safe. Yeah, but back to that subject. If you need to call in sick to work to pick up Pokemon cards, you might as well just quit your job and become a scalper at that point, because that's essentially what you're doing. That's not an accurate statement either. Like he might be a legitimate collector just trying to get into these cards, get the hobby. But even it's okay to take a back seat every once in a while. I have opened a total of 8 packs of Prismatic Evolution since release. I'm okay. I'm gonna live. FOMO, don't tell them. Jay gets off work to buy Pokemon cards too. Yeah, he does. My man was here. Where my baby at? I don't know. He might have left. Yeah. Thanks, Billy, for the gifted, says kids. What's up with the stack you were flexing? Papa Proof, those are cards that are going to be given away at the end of the night. I lost a challenge, so I have to give them away to the community. Yep. Yeah. How do you guys feel about it? I saw Kev talk about it. He kind of agrees. I still haven't opened a pack of Prismatic. I'm fine with that. Yeah, and that's okay. Like I don't recommend anyone buy cards from like get them from the sellers that you know and are trusted that have been here for a while. But ever since this year started, since Prismatic dropped, I've seen so many. I don't know why it annoys me so much, because it really shouldn't. I've seen so many new accounts pop up to be sellers and they DM me and they're trying to sell me their product. And it's like, dude, you're brand new. I have no trust. Like, you have 3 posts, and then they're the same accounts that are verifying themselves with 175 followers. Like, great, you have a blue check mark, but that doesn't mean you're a reliable person still. The blue check mark thing is fucking busted now. I think it's so dumb. There's some people that I do trust with the blue check mark, but it's only the people that got the check mark before they made it eligible for anyone and their mom to buy. Yeah. Inked Penguin says, "Hi, Katie. There's your man. I found him. Dibs. I call dibs. He's mine now. A hobby shouldn't affect your livelihood." No, 100% it shouldn't. And that's what people are doing with it, because the FOMO's hitting them hard. Not this FOMO, not the FOMO in chat. He's not going around punching people in the face. Just the actual fear of missing out is killing people right now. And a lot of it is new people in the hobby that don't understand that the cards are going to get printed much later in the year. It's a special set. I mean, 151 still getting printed. We just had Costco tins, and that's been 2 years. So Prismatic's going to be printed. It's just going to take time for it to get out there. And that's for every set right now. But a lot of these people are already trying to become content creators. And because of that, they have to buy the cards for content, which we know is not true. I open my cards on live streams once a month now. Okay. Yeah, that's content, but it's once a month and it's a live stream, so I'm just stocking up. The rest of my pre-recorded content is going to these doing challenge videos, doing the binder challenge for this whole year. I'm so glad you guys are loving that series. I'm having so much fun doing it, especially the one that will be premiering tomorrow morning. I had a blast doing it. It's so fun. I'm excited to see the friends that you guys, the people you get to see that I consider friends to me, the cards that they like, because it's all about the Pokemon they want. And because I'm doing it on a budget, you can see the cards that are fairly cheap and affordable that you might not think that people will love. Katie says, "I will fight you, Gonzo." That's fine. It's 2025. I believe in equal rights and lefts. I will fight you for your man's honor, because we're allowed to fight for men now. We don't always have to fight for a lady. Only after an exam. That's right. Specifically, taking off for a drop is pretty wild. And it was a rumored drop. He got lucky. Well, he didn't get lucky because he didn't get it, but he got lucky that the drop actually happened. It was just a rumor, and he still took the day off. FOMO, it's your fault. I have to eat ramen noodles every night. But also, just to go back to work tomorrow, they'll be all right. Yeah. Well, if it's a Monday through Friday job, he took the day off. FOMO, unaliving people mentally now. Wild. I need 2 more 151 cards to master set. Which ones? Maybe the community here can help you out. Let's go. Gonzo video drop tomorrow morning. Yes, it's so fun. It is another Collecticon video. Yeah, hopefully you guys like it. I also did my video during the VIP 1 hour thing, and it was so much easier to do. I was going to do it on the Saturday at Collecticon after that, but it just got so busy that I was like, I got overwhelmed. I was like, nope, I'm going to do it when it's nice and slow. So that's when I did it. Perfect. It's on, Gonzo. I'm going to win for my man. I fight dirty, for the record. So if you want to fight me, that's fine. Speaking from experience, I haven't ripped a pack of English on channel or stream in months, and I'm just shy of 500 now. You'll do fine. You don't have the newest set, y'all. Just be you. Kev, Kev, you said it perfect. You don't need, it's nice to open cards when you're a Pokemon channel, but look at all the channels that aren't Pokemon card content. There's the Pokemon video games. They're doing great content with Original 151, Nintendo. It's the same person, just 2 different channels. United Gamer, Shady Penguin. Shady Penguin's one of my favorite content creators out there right now. Same thing with Patters. Oh, I reached out to Patters for an interview, but unfortunately he's not doing these right now, but that would have been awesome. Game Boy Luke. Speaking of people from overseas, from across the pond, Game Boy Luke would have been awesome. Would be good. Yeah. School first, FOMO second. SIR Blastoise and Venusaur combined, it's 151, kind of ironic. So I do have both of those, but they're also both graded. So I don't know if you're looking for graded or ungraded. DM me and we'll figure something out if you want them graded. I fight Canadian, so let's do this. I don't give a fuck what you like. I don't give that doesn't mean anything to me. Very well said. You get out of here. Yeah. Much love, Merc. Laura and Natasha would get along. They do get along. Why the strap to my overhead? I just need to take off the camera or take off the strap one day. I've seen Laura around. She's cool. Support those that support you. I'll support that ass. What's up, Merc? Merc's OnlyFans dropping soon. Damn, Gonzo. Katie, you don't understand. I will fight. I will even give you a taser. Oh, you already said that. I just get the taser. We made the joke. I made the joke right when your comment popped up. That's funny. Yeah, I'll get a taser. That's fine. You forget I've been tased before. I've been pepper sprayed before. It's fun stuff. Maybe I don't need the taser. I'll pepper spray you. I'd much rather be tased than pepper sprayed any day. Because the tase hurts. Don't get me wrong. Being tased fucking sucks. It hurts so much, but it's only for like a couple minutes. And maybe if it depends on what kind of taser too. If it's a stun gun, the one where they have to press it against you, that sucks. It burns a little bit because it's electricity. The stun gun hurts. It hurts, but they're pronged, so it hurts where you get shot at. Oh, pepper spray though, that's gonna last. Ooh, I'd much rather pepper spray you. Tase you while pepper spraying. Bam, backfire. That's not how that works. Well, it depends on the pepper spray, I guess. If it's if it's an aerosol or a gel or water based. OC spray sucks, says Papa Proof. Yeah, it does. Agreed. Taser over pepper spray. Yeah, pepper spray or Carolina Reaper pepper. Pick one. Am I eating it? Am I eating it, or is it being put in my eyes? Because that would depending on that depends on my answer. Because if I have to eat it, I'd rather do the pepper spray because it's not as hot as a Carolina Reaper. Yes, pepper spray is edible. It's just water or oil on and peppers. But if I have to put it in my eyes, I'm gonna do the Carolina Reaper because it's going to be much easier to get out and rinse out because it's not granulated and very fine powder mixed in with water. Okay, I was thinking more like the flinching from the electricity would cause you to aim at yourself. But even if I aimed it at myself, I got some bad news for you. I'm one of like the 10% of people that's not immune to pepper spray right away. It takes a while for me to feel it. Eat pepper spray eyes. Eat the pepper spray eyes. Yeah. Freeze plus P plus taser equals fire. What? What? You just gave me a stroke. Freeze plus P plus taser equals fire. No clue what you're trying to say. Opossum says hello. I don't know if he did or not. I'm assuming he did. He's good people. I ate that hot ass chip from 7-Eleven and that boy sucked. I haven't tried it. I want to try it. I want to do one of these challenges with one of my friends. Like if we do a Pokemon battle, either like on Pokemon Showdown or a pack battle with an actual punishment. I tried looking into like the world's sourest candy because I think that'd be fun. That brand of OC that will catch on fire if you tase someone at the same time, if anyone is interested, of course. Oh, gotcha. So I thought it was an aerosol canister. Yeah. Some guy tased me a couple of months ago out of nowhere. What? Okay, now we need a story, Rock Sandy's son, because people just don't. Well, I would say people normally don't go around tasing people just because. But knowing how a lot of these IRL streamers are these days, I wouldn't be surprised. Is that the one chip challenge at the 7-Eleven now? No, I don't. They're not allowed to sell that anymore. I think it's banned. Was it your dad? Ask Katie. Yeah. Rock's going around tasing people. Good. People need a good tasing. That would be funny. Rock just attached a bunch of it's banned now, thank God, says iFOMO. It would be funny if Rock just attached a bunch of tasers and pepper spray to his quails and reached and let him go into the general public. I can handle heat, but there's definitely a limit. See, I'm not a smart person. When I was in the Navy, my buddy and I went to a shop that's a restaurant that's no longer open anymore, and they had one of those walls of fires where it had like 100 different kinds of hot sauces. And every time we went, we tried it, and don't get me wrong, there are some hot ass hot sauces on that wall. But the guy, he was like, "Hey, you guys want to try something really hot?" And we're like, "Yeah." He pulled out this vial. It was a vial. It wasn't like a bottle. It was a small ass vial that you would see people with blood in fucking horror movies. And he made us sign a waiver that says if we die, our families can't sue. And he took out a little like Coke spoon, right? And he was like, "All right, go for it. Have a small amount." This motherfucker didn't tell us it was extract. So it was meant to go into a giant pot of chili for like a chili cook-off at a fair. Oh my God, that sucked. I never wanted to fight an old man in my life until then. I was walking downtown and I heard some guy yelling, and then I turned around and he's in my face with a black box, and I got tased for like 10 seconds. That sounds so fun. Well, hopefully you didn't get robbed or anything like that, because that's usually what happens when stuff comes out. It's worse coming out. Carolina Reaper chilies for me, laugh out loud, says Bald. Ink's Penguin says, "I did a world's sourest candy short at Car Party 2. I didn't find it that sour, but they had a coating of spice under the first layer. And that, so it was sour and spicy. That what they were trying to do? See, if it's not that sour, I that's pointless, right? Like, you got to get the good stuff. You got to get the stuff that make you want to cry. Rock's son out here fighting zombies. I've signed waivers to eat some hot wings before. Yeah, I learned my lesson. If I have to sign a waiver, I'm not touching it. Not my dad. My dad is nice, says Roxandy's son. I definitely do good on the hot wing show. I've had the last dab, and it's not that bad. TP in the freezer situation for sure. That's crazy. Good old malic acid. Yep. Yeah, disappointed in the sourness, but the spice was interesting. Yeah, because did you know? If you didn't know about the spice, I can understand that. But if you knew the spice was there, maybe that helped. It gave you like a warning. But if you were going for the sour and then the spice came up, maybe it was just a little weird and you weren't ready for it. Or there's probably a lot of things that happen. I need it. I want to try it now just to try it. It came out of nowhere. OG Warheads were sour as anything. They were good. I liked them. I don't want to say they were the sourest candy I've ever had. I think the sourest thing I've had was a pickle in, was it Dubai or Bahrain? It was one of those countries. For some reason, they had a pickle stand that had some sour pickles, and I was like, I'll try it. Oh my God. It was my face. I didn't see my face. No one got a picture of it, but I'm sure it looked like the face that you would see in commercials for like sour candy. Warheads were sour, but only for like 10 seconds. Yeah. A black cherry one makes me a PTSD. Man, you guys remember Crybabies? Those were sour. I do remember those. Those were good. I'm gonna go pick some of those up if I can find them. Were you in B-Ray? In Ba? I was in Bahrain for a little bit. I wasn't stationed there. The ship just ported there. I think I was there for like 3 or 4 days in 2014. Military. I was there for the military. Crybabies weren't bad at all. They were only good for like 2 seconds. I deployed with the MEU, but I'm not a Marine. I was Navy. I deployed with them. I was the amphib team that set up the security on the beach for the Marines to land on. So when they were in Djibouti, we went to Bahrain. Bahrain was fun. It was nice. They have a area called American Alley, and their American Alley was TGI Fridays, a Fuddruckers, KFC, Pizza Hut. It was just like all these like name brand American restaurants that not even Americans go to anymore. Yeah, Crybabies, that takes me back. Crybabies were, man, I think those would be easier to find than Warheads. Texas Roadhouse. Yeah, Texas Roadhouse was out there. What else was out there? It was 2014. I'm trying to think what else was out there. Taco Bell, I'm pretty sure, was out there. McDonald's was 100% out there. They're in every American alley. Man, Texas Roadhouse is good. Here's some hot take that I guarantee will piss some of you guys off. Don't care for their butter. Fight me. Let's get that conversation going. How do you feel about Texas Roadhouse butter? My wife's there in 2023. Oh, that's cool. She was probably stationed out there then. My brother was stationed in Djibouti mid. Yeah. I'm assuming you're talking about the butter. Yeah, Djibouti sucked. I have a picture somewhere on probably one of my old hard drives from that time. At 8 a.m, it was already 103 degrees. It sucked. And that was supposed to be like during their cooling off time, like their fall. It was the absolute worst. Wife was there on the MEU. I've been stateside my whole tour. You need to get out there. They pay you to travel. I won't talk on the butter, but the rattlesnake bites are amazing. I'm assuming that's one of their appetizers. I probably never had it. Oh, so Phoenix, Arizona? Yeah, exactly. It's a Djibouti, yeah. But that was 8 a.m. So at high noon, it was like 120 plus. It was brutal. I think the highest it got was like 130. What's up, Trainer Glenn? How you doing, my friend? We're just hanging out. We're just talking. We're chilling. We're waiting for Dama still. I'll see if he's good. Yep. Glenn, everyone's saying hello to Glenn. Yeah. So when I was in Djibouti, the locals would trade you for anything as long as they thought it was American made. So my neck was burning. Like I had sunscreen, but it definitely wasn't working. So I traded my broken multi-tool for a head cover, and it was amazing. It worked so good. It did not help me keep me cool, but it did make sure I didn't burn to death on my neck. That was nuts. But the joke, like the multi-tool they wanted wasn't even American. So they're like, oh, that, we want that. I was like, I take it out. It's my multi-tool. I was like, oh, this? They're like, yeah, American made. I was like, oh, yeah, it's American made, but it's broken. You guys don't want this. They're like, no, American made. We can sell it. Even though on the side, it says straight up made in China. I was like, screw, I don't care. So I gave them that, got my headband, called it a day. Was able to stay nice and clean. Well, not clean because there was dust everywhere. Yeah. We almost caused an international incident while we were there. So how it's set up, it's a 5-man team, one person on each side. Like 3 people form a triangle to set up a perimeter for the amphibious crafts to land on in the sand. And then you have the team leader and the communications guy in the back. So I'm all the way to the right. I'm the furthest person away. The closest person to me is 150 yards away. And to the right of me is a peninsula, like a very small one, but one that it sticks out enough where I can't see to my right because there's a giant cliff in the way. And then there's a giant stone, like a giant beach wall, and it's the natural border from Djibouti to Somalia. So up on the wall, there's a small plateau where it's still Djibouti and there's other flat land, but I can't see it. I can't see the top of it, so I can't see what's going on. And I can't see around the bend. So around the bend in the water, my job was to make sure the Somalian pirates don't get in the way of the U.S. Hovercrafts or the amphib crafts to land on the beach. If they did, it was not a good day for them because they would open fire and I would open fire. So they would come, they test the waters, and then we do what we need to do to scare them off, and they go kick rocks for a few hours. But that's what they did for every couple hours. They go and test it, make sure I'm still paying attention, and then they go back out. So I'm already on edge because that happens 3 to 4 times a day while we're trying to land Marines on the beach. Dude, pirates are the boldest people on the planet. They really are. So I know Somalia's kind of on the other side of that wall that I'm next to. And at like 2:30 in the morning, you just hear pop, 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 pop. I'm like, oh fuck, we're taking fire. It was gunshots. So I take the deck, I hit the deck, and I go condition 1. I put a round in the chamber, my safeties, it's on, but my thumb is right there to flick it, to turn it on. And I'm like, oh shit. So I'm on the radio. Everyone's on the radio. They're trying to make sure I'm okay, that I'm not hit because it's closest to me. I'm good. And there's the Marines that were already on the beach. They come running to me just to make sure I'm good. And we're all condition 1. We're all trying to figure out where it's coming from. We figure out that it's coming from above us. It's from right there. And some of the Marines rack a 203 round in their M4. And I know the civilians don't know what that means. There's a grenade launcher attached to a machine gun, and then they put a grenade in that said grenade launcher. That's essentially what they did. And they're about to launch it, right? And but we need confirmation that someone's hit. We need confirmation that they're shooting at us. And we have one itchy Marine, like he's about to pull the trigger, and we get the information that it's the goddamn French army doing night fire exercises that did not tell us about it. So this guy, he took his finger off the trigger really quick and was like, okay, we need to go do something about this. And it was dude, it was crazy. I've been in some, that was one, I would say that's top 5 scary situations for me. Yeah. Yeah. So Phoenix, Arizona, that's crazy. Yeah. The pirate episode of South Park. Holy shit, dude. Yeah. Marnie was chasing a car. Yeah, probably. God damn Frenchies. Dude. Yeah, talk about timing, right? It was fucking stupid. Yeah, it was so crazy. It was probably one of the scariest, I would say, top 5 scary situations for me. I've been in worse, I've been in scarier, but that was not the first one. Definitely not the first one. Man, now that you guys got me thinking about my time in service now, because that fucking sucked. That night sucked. Yeah. But after that, after that happened, they just called the exercise over, and they were like, all right, we'll finish dropping off the Marines in the morning. even though it was 2:30 in the morning. What's number one? Number one, I'm not going to talk about on stream because yeah, we'll just leave it at that. Number one, I won't talk about on stream. Yeah. So, but let's talk about Pokemon for a second. Before Dama hops in, if he hops in, we don't know if he will or not at this point. Maybe we'll have to reschedule. We'll find out. But if he does need to reschedule, I'm more than happy to do that for him. It's always nice to talk to you guys. It's nice to unwind. You guys know what I mean? But let's talk about the buyouts for a second before he gets in. Not even Jay shows up to this late. Well, in Dama's defense, he had a family emergency. He had to knock out really quick. He had to go get some stuff from Target for a sick kid. Been chasing the Paladin Evolved fish again. 40 packs in. Nice. I like Paladin Evolved. I'm not going to chase it for a fish. Ricky, though, how you doing, Ricky? But the buyouts. So he bought out the Mimikyu V, the one that's on the thumbnail, and he's very open about what he's going to do with it. How do you guys feel about buyouts for people who are doing it to sell? They're doing it to inflate the prices. Because Dama, he made a whole video, made a short about it. That wasn't his goal. He knew it was going to happen, but that wasn't his goal. His goal was to grade what he can with the Japan grading company and then give away the rest. How do you guys feel about that kind of buyout situation? Everyone's saying hello to Ricky. What's up, Kev? I'm biased. I do the same. I do the same to an extent. What if it's the collecting goal? Sure, fine. Financial, not a fan. Do what you want with your money, says Papa. I agree because I've done it. I've bought 5 to 10 cards of the same card before, and it's mostly for the same reason. Like, can I get a high enough grade to make me happy, and then the rest I just give away. And there's proof of me doing it. I've given away dozens of times. Okay, I'm back, says Dama. I just got the message from Dama. He's back. So, yeah, it looks like hopefully we don't need to reschedule. He should be coming in the next couple minutes. I know guys that grade 20 of the same card and sell them, but they don't buy out. But that's literally what a buyout is. You're buying all the cards from one shop, from one TCG shop, one local shop, from anywhere to grade them. And then if you're selling them, that's what I don't agree with. Like, yes, what Dama is doing is a buyout, but I think what makes the buyout different is what that overall outcome is with the cards. Because that is a buyout, 100% that's a buyout. But what you're doing with it is essentially that's 100% you're market manipulating on purpose. All right, you. No, not necessarily. So I do buy some cards here and there that are just in my top 10 Pokemon cards. TCG player is what the issue is. I 100% TCG players they play a huge factor in all of that, in my opinion, because they have that current graph of what's selling, what's not selling, and they have the graph for eBay and all of that. 20 cards on eBay doesn't move anything. It does to yes and no. I agree with that statement only half the time because it depends on the card. I think if you buying out cards like Dama did when they're $40-$50 already, I think people will notice that on eBay. But if you're buying out 20 to 30 cards and they're like $10 cards or less, let's say they're single digit cards, they're $9 cards. I don't think people will notice as quick as they do on TCG Player. But on TCG Player, I think any amount of cards, I think even a dollar level, I think we'll get, if you start buying out on TCG Player, I think people will notice there. What's up, everyone? Says Dom's Dex. How you doing, Dom? Kev says, I can't say I agree fully. If they are giving them away, then that's okay. But yeah, not for profit. I think that's what everyone's common consensus is. 40 Luffy sold yesterday and it didn't even dent the price. How much was that Luffy? I buy one of each if I can, and I'm trying to master a set. If I pull dupes, they go right towards the collection goal. Trends affect the market no matter how small. Yeah, I agree. It's my collecting goal is like it's Dama 69 join.
Yeah.
Hey,
Wait, let me get.
we can hear you, we just can't see you.
See if I can do this.
Yeah.
I had that open. Let's try this one more time.
Try.
All right, let me try this. Your video has been enabled. Clearly not.
Dude, it has to be this the Streamlabs that I've been using lately.
Yeah.
Because it's same thing happened to me earlier tonight. My audio wasn't working, and then my video froze up for a good minute, for a good chunk.
This is. I'm gonna make the here. Let me try this one more time. I'm gonna rejoin and try this again.
Okay. Yeah. So there are two ways to source. Buy multiple copies or source on eBay specific cards. The second one requires much more work and time. Yeah, I think so too. Buying from eBay is a lot more work because there's so many other people. There's not as many people and it's not as quick. It's Dama as anonymous. Buyouts only affect the market when they happen on TCG Player since it's a primary source for price determination. Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of us are agreeing on, because how many?
All right,
I saw you for a second. There you are. Yeah, because I look at all the investor type channels, or the channels that talk about the market on Mondays, Fridays, Tuesdays, whatever day of the week they want to market their channel on. Every single page is the same card, same set, same website. Oh, did you freeze on us again? Hey, going to Poke Pop Pop. How you doing? Sup, Dama? Says FOMO. I can buy out my city of a certain card and it won't move anything. No, absolutely, because that's what I was saying too. Like, it might affect a little bit locally because people like, oh, they can watch you do it if the store's busy enough. But no one's going to talk about it because it's not affecting the market online right away. Because, like I was saying, TCG Players it's an active line. They see how it's going. They see how much people bought. God, this app is driving me nuts. This last couple of tries. Yeah. But speaking of buying cards out locally, Ricky, what are you buying? Where are you going to go to Game Empire for and buy out? I need to know so I can pick it up before you do. It's not the buyout, it's the resell. And I think that's what the people are getting confused about. The buyout doesn't affect anything. What it affect, it affects a little bit of where you're buying it, TCG Player over locally. But then it does matter on what the overall outcome is. If I can't buy local, I go online and it's drip down issue. Yeah. If you're counting the listings on TCG Player and buy those until it hits the price raise, you are aware of it. What's that called? That's market manipulation at that point. I just need that stupid fish to get a comfy price and I can buy it. It's $250. It's a bit much. For the you're talking about the Paldea Evolved Magikarp, I'm assuming. Yo, Kev says pop pop. Nothing, but I'll be at Tito Rich Trade Night next week. Hope I'll see you there. I don't have plans to go there. I heard the parking is really terrible over at Tito Rick's, so maybe I'll get there one day. But as of right now, I don't have any plans to go next Friday. Not unless you drive. If you drive, I'll go because I'm not trying to buy that. That's likely a complete buyout. I think most people don't do that. Some people do. Keep in mind, I don't care how people choose to spend their money. The Paldea Evolved Magikarp is how much? Last time I checked, it was $250. So I'm pretty sure that's the price that he's talking. That's the card he's talking about. Oh, now my computer's slowing down. That's not good. Actually, I think my computer's about to crash. My computer says the time is 6:17 and is currently 6:50. That's well, fuck me. That's probably why my computer's messing up for Dama. It's a tricky subject. It 100% is. 100%. I can't believe my computer says it's 6:17. That's nuts. It's gonna drop on me soon. I've seen the Marascarada SIR recently uptick a bit. Probably nothing but something to monitor. I mean, someone's gonna monitor it. It's the investor channels and the investor bros. I feel like they have their pulse on everything. Gonna reset the old computer. Dama, I feel like I might have to do the same. So hopefully we can get it working. If not, we can always reschedule. I understand things happen with the family. It's a beautiful card, not gonna lie. I prefer the Meowscarada over the Magikarp, 100%. Even like it's not even the fact that one's an SAR and one's an AR. I just like the art better. I think it looks cleaner. Yeah. Who's calling me? Why are you calling me? Yeah, I'll get back to them later. Appreciate you, man. The thing had really bad delay for the video. Gonna see if it was my settings. It's probably not. It's probably my side because my computer legit says it's 6:20. 6:17. I mean, so that's. I don't know what's going on with my computer lately, but it's freezing up. It still works, so I guess that's a plus. It's just a pain in the ass. I don't know if I got a virus because it's not that old. It's only like 2 or 3 years old. But the fact that I might have to buy another computer already is so stressful because computers aren't cheap anymore. Looking forward to this, guys. Me too. The background is beautiful. Some truly overlooked cards, honestly. I agree. I like the one with the Jigglypuff washing its hands. Is that the Segura? You're talking about the trainer? Where they're cooking? That's the one I'm thinking of. Damn, that's crazy. I haven't even looked at card price since November. James in the original show with the quote, "I'm collecting them because they're simple and beautiful and it makes me happy." Bro, that's the best. Like, that's the best way to explain how I am with the community. Like, everyone's like, "Oh, you're buying all the Raichus." Like, no. Like, I buy what I think is like, even some of the cards I don't like, not cards, Pokemon. I buy the cards because I think the cards still look cool. That's how you learn the Rasengan, Seguro. What? Is that, are you dropping a Naruto reference on us right now? Crazy FOMO. They're all your Raichus. That's right. They're all mine. None of you guys can buy them anymore. I'm calling dibs on everything. I haven't watched a single episode of Boruto. Only because I feel like it would ruin the Naruto experience for me. Because I read and watched all of Naruto. Maybe except a handful of the movies. Because if they're not canon, I don't really care. But yeah, like once they announced Boruto, I was like, this, like, why? I didn't see the point in it. There he is.
Good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can see you.
Let's do this thing.
Let's do this. All right, what's going on, everybody? My name is Gonzo. Welcome to the channel. Tonight we are talking to Dama. We're talking buyouts. We're talking Pokemon. Shit, we might even talk about Union Arena and Digimon for a bit because that's what we were talking about in DMs. Because Pokemon is crazy right now.
It do be wild.
It do be wild.
Crazy time.
How's the little one? She better?
Yeah, she's got a common cold and a little ear infection, so we just had to situate all that. But she's good. She's just
Good.
got a scary cough. It's like the doctor's like, it's fine. They have that, and then I'm like, yeah, but it sounds like she's dying. She's like, no, you're good. Just make sure you have all this and that. And you're good. So that was just a little. Had to do all that.
Is this your first and only one?
Yes, she's our first, and she's I love her to death. So
new,
meaning to the word love with when you have a little one, that.
Yeah,
wild.
They're good people. I like them. I like them sometimes.
Kids are all right.
Yeah, they're okay. Yeah, I have a 9-year-old and a 2-year-old, and oh my god, that 2-year-old is a monster.
Dude, it's terrible.
Not like no, it's not even terrible twos. He's just a monster. He's gonna be a linebacker when he's older. He's dying. Like we went to Disneyland in November, he just turned 2, so he's walking, he's running, he's learning how to talk, and they're like, all right, cool, where's his ticket? We're like, he's 2. They're like, the hell he is.
No, he's not.
That kid is like 7, man. I'm like, no, he's 2.
This kid could pin me. Like, no, he's not 2.
Your kid's about to mug me, bro. What do you mean?
Dude.
All right, so let's get into it, guys. I did not start the Q&A yet. That's my fault. If you guys have any questions for myself or Dama or for the both of us, let us know in the Q&A and we will talk about it. The questions in the Q&A will take priority just in case the chat. But while you were taking care of your family, we did talk about buyouts a little bit.
Okay.
No one's mad at you.
It's cool if they are. I'm I'm so indifferent about I guess the hobby in general right now in terms of I guess one of the cool things about the hobby, and anyone who's been in the hobby for a little bit or just been in any form of content creation for a minute, everybody has an opinion, and you just kind of have to roll with it. The only time I'm not open to hearing somebody's opinion is just if it's outright just completely unnecessary. So threats, slander, defamation, stupid stuff that's just not warranted. But if anybody just disagrees with me and you're like, hey, what about this and this? I'm like, yeah, let's talk about it. I don't have to agree with you to have a conversation, and so it's cool if people don't agree with anything I say. That's totally fine.
And that's perfect because that's how conversations and growth of the community happens. Nick and I, Opossum, people consider him one of the most controversial people out there. Once you get to know him, it's not that he's angry, he's passionate. He's been in this hobby for years, for a very long time. Just because he wasn't doing content creation doesn't mean he wasn't there.
You don't have to
and I think that's what a lot of people are misconstruing. Oh, you've only been in it since 2020. No, that's when I started content.
Yep.
Yeah, because I know we've talked about it. You've been doing Pokemon since before content creation as well. How long have you been doing? How long have you been in the hobby before content?
So I got into the hobby I was we all have the converse or the talk about how we opened cards as kids or we that and that, and I don't I'm not going to consider that when I got into the hobby, because the hobby itself, when I actually was learning about sets, cards, prices, Japanese, all that kind of stuff. It was end of Black and White, early XY. So I was probably 11 years ago, something like that. I don't know the exact time frame, but I was I think I was a freshman or a sophomore in high school, and I remember me and my buddies were like, oh, Pokemon, we play the games our entire life, why not get back into the card game when we were kids? And then we bought I remember me and my buddy Matt, we bought a ton of Flash Fire blisters, and we were we were in high school, so we didn't have much money, so we got together what we could, and we both went half and half on a Flash Fire blister case, and then instead of we went and we opened half of them, and that's when I learned like hit rates were rough with like Pokemon. Yeah. I was like, oh my god, I thought we were supposed to get all these Charizards and we were gonna just like it's gonna be a great time, and we learned the hard way. No. And then we took the other packs and we sold them to our friends to try and like recoup it so we could do it again. And turns out our one buddy, he pulls like the secret rare Mega Charizard X, and we're like, come on, dude. And we're like, that's awesome for you, but like, dang. So we did that for a little, and then then I would kind of like take when I had my off period at the end of school, I'd drive to the GameStop that was like 20 minutes away from my house, which is still the same one I go to today a lot. And they would have like Phantom Forces, Primal Clash, like they'd have the whole shebang. And
on probably on like clearance too.
Yep, it was like, and you got like two or three packs, and I remember like pulling the secret Kyogre, pulling the secret Gengar, the Flog. I was like, oh, this is so cool. And then I was like, are these worth anything? Like I'm pulling them, but are they worth anything?
Yeah.
And then I searched it up on eBay. Was like seeing all the listings. I'm like, oh my god, this card sells for $36, which at the time, secret rare Gengar was $36. That was like big. It was like I made my money back on packs. What? This is nuts, dude. And I had no idea what grading was, learned what that was through the rabbit hole. And that wasn't even like, it was clearly grading was a thing, but it wasn't like, at least for X and Y Modern at the time, when X and Y was Modern, it wasn't like, secret rare Mega Gengar was $3,000. It was like maybe 100 something.
Yeah.
But I didn't know any of that. So I was like, I'm just going to keep it raw. And then kind of got into the whole, like watching all the creator scene at the time, which was like Primetime Pokemon, Max Mofo. I mean, you had like some of the creators that have been around like pre-COVID, like they were around, but they were a lot smaller. But the big ones were like Primetime and Max, like they were the guys. And then you had some other guys on the Japanese side, which like they're not known. Like I'm probably a bigger channel than them now, but even though like my numbers are so fabricated as shit, it's like shorts of like, do you like this card? And then there's like a 5-year-old that's like, yes, I'm subscribing. And that's like 30%. But there's like guys who like open that stuff for $5 a pack, like Japanese Jungle, Fossil, all this stuff back in the day. And like I'd watch them and be like, Japanese is so cool and it's so cheap, and you get old cards and are guaranteed hollows. What? And that was like 10, 11 years ago. And then since then, it's just been kind of like every year since I'd have like a spark really good interest for like a couple months, and I'd kind of be really interested in like something else, and then interested in something else, and then come back, and it was like a circle every single year. And then like probably right around COVID, when everybody I knew got back like really hard back into the scene, I was like, oh, do you guys know about this? Do you know about this? Do you know about this? And they're like, why don't you just open some boxes in video? And I was like, okay. And I did that, and then you kind of go down the rabbit hole, and it was like, then one thing leads to another, and you end up in crippling debt because of Pokemon cards. And
oh, I know,
we're getting out of that.
Yeah. My wife last night, she was like, we need to do something about this because we have this because a bill came up, because it was one of those moments where everything broke at once. Our water heater went down. We had to buy a new car. Our garbage disposal just went out.
Yep.
And so we had to dip into the savings for a second. And she was like, you either got to start showing off your butthole on camera.
Yep.
Or something, because I was like, yep, okay, I got you. Professor Metry for 8 months. Sorry, I'm not able to tune in. Love you both. I love you, sir. Yeah, I'm using my phone to read the chat because, like I said, my computer froze. So I'm glad everything is still moving, but on my computer, it's frozen. The Bald-Headed Collector wants to know, what is your favorite Pokemon?
I like Gengar. I don't know why. He's just a goofy fucking dude. He's a goofy boy, and I've always liked how goofy he was. I think when I was a kid in what was it, Tower of Terror? I think that's the episode of the anime where like they go to the like abandoned mansion, and they're all just hanging out, like Ghastly Haunter and Gengar.
He had to get the ghost Pokemon to beat Sabrina.
Yeah, that's Tower of Terror.
Where he actually died. Ash died, guys.
He canonically died.
He's died, what, 3 times?
Yeah, there is no heaven in the Pokemon universe. You just come back.
Yeah, you just come. Yeah, you just have to have a haunter grab you by your soul, rip you out, and then put you back in.
It's that simple.
Yeah, it's that simple.
That
Same
one
here.
did it.
Sylveon first, Gengar second, Lucario third. Says bald headed collector.
Sylveon, sweet.
I like Sylveon. Not my favorite evolution though. That's Jolteon.
Yeah. Jolteon's your favorite?
Jolteon is my favorite.
You're an electric type guy, aren't you?
I am a huge electric type guy. Yeah,
Dude.
I love Jolteon. Love Electivire, even though he's goofy. Electabuzz is great. Elekid's my favorite out of that line though. Zapdos is the best bird.
Yeah, Zapdos is sweet. Zapdos was when I was younger, Zapdos. I think Zapdos probably still, I think he's still my favorite of the Kanto birds. He's just too cool.
He is. So we talked about the buyout situation a little bit before you got here. Like how it's crazy to me how people on Reddit, of course it's Reddit. So of course everything, like take everything with a grain of salt, but Reddit even more grains. Like what?
Yeah,
like,
it's grain of sand and on Reddit.
It's so fucking wild that you can be like, this is when hey, I know this is gonna happen. I'm sorry. This is what I'm doing. I'm not making a profit off anything because I'm giving it away. You're actually taking a massive loss.
I think so. Like, I don't blame people for being skeptical. It's super. Like, think of any time you hear like an advert from like anybody, in any community in regards to money. It's like, guys, I'm not making a lot of money on this. Meanwhile, they're like you go see like their Instagram story and they're like posting up $30,000 in cards. Like, should I buy? Yeah. I mean, you might be making something there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like
I like the ones where like, oh, they're making all that money back on ad revenue. Like, motherfucker, how much
ad revenue sucks? So bad.
Not unless you get to the couple 100,000 subscribers and you're getting like thousands of views each time.
And even then, it's just kind of like there are way more lucrative ways to make the passive, and it's not passive because you're making content. So there's lots of ways to make passive, like way more viable forms of income than one, YouTube, and two, like cards, like flipping cards. Like that's just, it's very it's taxing to do all of it because it's very tedious, and then fit that into like a normal schedule if you have a job or if you're doing other things. Like a good example is every time there's a wave in the hobby, you see a lot of people come in full force and then they disappear within a year, and it's because
they're not making their money back.
They're not making their money. They went in too deep and then everything crumbled. Or the best one that I love is a lot of them get hit with a nice little, hey, you owe us money from the IRS. And it's not often that it happens because it's like very unlikely, but some people just won't pay their shit for like 2-3 years. And just, they're like, I'm making all this money, and they have a nice little, end of the year, you can flex with it. Like, I made 6 figures, and then the IRS is just like, hey,
how?
Where's that money you owe us?
Yeah. But I think that was one of the things I was talking about earlier. Like all these new Instagram pages that are DMing like, hey, buy my product. No, I don't care. You have a blue check mark. You have 132 followers. You have 5 posts. You have no reviews or people legit buying off you. Like right now is a perfect time to be cautious of who you're buying from.
Yeah. People are very it's like, and I clearly is like a guy who does the Pokemon business side of things. Like, I understand how as a business issues can arise, things that aren't predicted can occur, and you kind of have to work with it and figure it out, and you have to like do what is best for the like customer whilst like holding your ground into what you have stated and what your things are. Like, I get that. But there is like also there's a level degree where you just can't predict some things that are going to occur sometimes. So like shit does happen.
Never mind. I'm not.
But like
it's a different situation.
Yeah, you do have to be very cautious. Like there's a lot of people that I feel like look at their track record, see how long they've been doing it. The majority of people, what they're saying, if 99% of people are saying, oh yeah, it's good, it's a great time, and then 1% are saying worst experience ever, scammer, terrible. It's like, I mean, 99%.
I just don't want to be the scapegoat for that guy. I don't. Exactly. Yeah. You can test the waters. I'll be the guy. Like, Yeah, you can be the guy. I was there before he got big. Go for
like,
it. I will.
Hey,
wait.
if you were getting boxes half the price of the rest of us, that you took that risk and it paid off. But not everybody does it. Do that for.
Yeah, exactly. And there's so many people like I saw one channel, because everyone's doing sponsorshipped posts now.
Yeah.
And I see them all the time. They're in my stories now. And it's like, bro, this money's not a tax write-off because you're probably not doing it correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw one video, it's like the daily life of a scalper. I'm like, okay, let's check this out. He had 4 total posts, 3 reels, 77 followers, the blue check mark, and he already turned off his comments and all of his stuff. And I was like, that's not a good sign, bro.
Yeah. It's like the coolest thing was when I first learned in the Pokemon business side of things, like you could write off things. Yeah. That was like ridiculous because like at the time I didn't have like I wasn't recognized by my state as a business. So I was like, can I do this? And I was asking a finance guy and he's like, well, you could, but like it'd look a lot better and you probably wouldn't be questioned if you were like recognized as a business. And I was like, all right, so what do I do? He's like, just go get an LLC, do your whole that way. You have, if you're doing the physical product of like buying it distro, get your resale license, go that route and blah, blah, blah. I was like, well, I don't want to do that. I just want to kind of do this. He was like, well, then, just have the LLC. So then I went that route and then I learned like, well, what can I write off? How do I write off? Like what? And literally the response I got was like, well, almost anything. If you, and again, I'm not a financial advisor. Like what I was told was like more or less almost anything if it pertains to your business, your image with the business, if your content, like if you're the coolest thing about being a content creator and owning a business is it's kind of split in how you can write things off from my knowledge, because like just one example, and it's stupid. It shows you how like in depth it can go is like, say somebody has a signature haircut. Like, let's take CT, like Ryan, for an example. Ryan's hair now is like pure white, looks Super Saiyan-esque. That's part of his brand. Technically, anytime he gets that done, he could write it off, and he probably does.
Yeah.
That's one example.
I talked to my tax lady, my mullet, if I decide to keep it, because I've had it for so long, my membership is called the Mullet Mob. She's like, your haircuts are now tax writable when you form your LLC. But the only reason why I haven't formed an LLC yet is because I feel like LLCs will be easy. I can do it right now and it'd be fine because I can do tax write-offs for the stuff I buy for videos and for giveaways because I'm spending money to make the content. But because she was like, she's like, don't do it yet until you start collecting ad revenue from YouTube.
Yep.
So like, even though I have 1,000 subs and I have memberships, I don't have ad revenue yet. And that's just like, once you get that, we'll make the LLC, we'll start doing all this other stuff and we'll make it good.
Yeah. It's definitely like, I know it's like, I was explaining this on my stream the other day where like somebody had brought it up and I was like, here's an example. Like, let's say you start a Pokemon business and at the end of the year, you get you take a look at your 1099 and it says $400,000 of sales. And you're like, oh my God, like, oh my God, I did so good, blah, 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 whatever. But then if you really break it down into like what you actually make, let's say you actually make 95% or 95% isn't actual recognized gains. So it's like you actually made what's like 95% of 400. Yeah, you didn't make much. But then again, that's actually not technically a terrible thing if you're like kind of just trying to chill and you're not really trying to like make insane, like if you're not Pokeany and you're not like worried about sales tax, Nexus, thousands of buyers, email lists, worried about anything that could go wrong, have people hired under you. Like, if you're not trying to do that, as long as you know how to like situate your stuff, write it off properly, actually understand what you can and can't write off, which again, a lot of things. And if the majority is like let's say if 90% of what you bought in a fiscal year is you buying packs to use for, there's 90% of things you use for business right then and there. So it's like, it's just knowing a lot of that stuff. And a lot of people that enter the hobby like don't know that. And then they just get kind of caught up. And
I talked to one guy, he was like, I bought all this stuff and I write it off my taxes and they didn't accept any of it. I was like, Yeah, because you didn't make content with it. That's the thing. You need to make the content with it.
Yep.
So if you buy 100 booster boxes, but you only make content for 6 of them,
Yep.
you're only going to get it for that 6.
Mm-hmm. That's why, like, if you're doing like streaming, the whole like break stream concept, or the really like any form of a break stream, like everything on there. And then even then, it technically, because it's not just content, but it's an actual recognized business that you're running.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be technically, because then you're like, well, every time I buy Pokemon cards, it goes to this. And they're like, well, yeah, okay.
Yeah, because at that point you're ripping. It's an actual business. Like, oh, I bought it because it's stock for my business.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. But if you're like me, you're not a reseller. You're just opening open packs. Like, all right, you better do it on camera. Yeah.
Yep. Very specific stuff, but once it's understood, you're like, oh, I got it. And then when you think you got it,
she even told me that my Adobe
your membership
could be a tax write-off. My internet, not all of it, because I do work for home. Everyone else in my family uses it. I go to school. Like, it's like a portion of it could be written off, not all of it. Yeah. So that, like, you just need to be mindful of what you're doing. Don't write off your car. Don't be stupid.
Yeah, unless you have that in your business's name, and like that's when you're like, most people for Pokemon are never gonna worry about that. Like other businesses, sure. Like if like I said, unless you're Brian Pokey, any level of business where you can do that and it actually makes sense, it's logical. You have a guy running around to get this and this every single day. Like then you could probably skate by.
Yeah.
And even then, you could probably, even without doing that, if you just had a business with enough numbers, you could probably skate by and do it. It's just, that's another whole conversation.
I ran into a scalper today. I don't call him out. I don't pull out my phone and do all that shit.
Yeah, it's not worth
I was just curious. I'm like, hey man, how much money do you actually make? Because like I went to a GameStop to pick up the new Bleach game.
Yeah.
And I saw they had cards. I don't have the budget for the cards right now because I've been doing so many other things with like I said, my car, the heater, and because we'll get backtrack to a conversation we had earlier in the stream. But this guy is like, well, if you don't want them, I'll take the rest of your stock. And the employee was like, you can take 2. And he was like, but he's like, no one else is gonna buy it, so just let me buy it. And he goes, if he's like, that logic makes no sense. If we put a limit on it, that means other people want it. It's in high demand. He's like, just because they're not here right now doesn't mean they're not going to buy it.
Yeah.
Well, if they're not here to buy it, no one else is going to buy it. Fuck out of here.
They're not here right now.
They're not here right now.
Someone will be in 30 minutes. Like it's
So he was like, I was like, hey, out of curiosity, how much money do you make off this? He's like, I make $10 for each one.
For each pack or product?
Each product. It was an ETB he was buying.
Yeah, so it's like here again. I hope somebody who is considering that route listens to the stream real quick. When you take into consideration your gas, your time investment,
that's where I was getting to with the fucking guy.
It's not worth it at all. Get a job. You don't have. You literally like. You are taxed at your job. Dollars are taken out of your check. You don't have to worry about the self-income portion of shit. It's so much easier. Like, unless you're doing it as like hey, let's have fun, let's enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like if you don't know if you can't really make sense of it all, just have fun with it.
Because then you also got to think about where is he selling it? Is he selling it on Instagram?
If it's on Whatnot, is Whatnot taking a percentage like they do?
Whatnot, eBay, Mercari, Drip. And then you have to think about the stuff you have to buy to package it.
Yep.
And ship it. Like, are you really making $10? No, it goes back to what you said earlier. You're making like 3.
Yep.
And he was talking about how I don't know how, if you know how big San Diego is, if you've ever been here. But he's from an area called the South Bay.
Okay.
Which, to get to that part of San Diego where he bought the ETBs to make a $10 profit, it's a 25 to 30 minute drive. And that's without traffic.
Isn't gas like a bitch up there too?
Yeah, gas is $5 a gallon out here.
Oh, so he just loses that.
Yeah, exactly. And then I was like, hey, did you also stop? How many other GameStops and Targets did you stop by before coming out here? Because you're not going to drive for a half hour to one GameStop to pick up stuff. You're hunting for stuff.
Yeah.
And he was like, I picked up And he was honest. He's like, I picked up like 3 other things and I stopped at like 5 other locations. I'm like, you're losing money, dude.
Yeah.
The damage and wear and tear to your car is not worth $3 of profit.
I think it comes down to a lot of the time with the like hype cycles.
It's 100% hype.
It's people do it because they like see. They view it this way. If I sell an ETB to somebody and I can sell it for $10 over whatever MSRP is, say I get it for 40 and I sell it for 55. Everybody, when they view that 55 coming in, they view a lot of them kind of get like they lose vision of what actually is happening. They'll take the $55.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
It's no, you made 15, then take off your percentages, and then that's what you're left with. Yeah. And then take in everything else that's going to be taken off. Then take off your percentage for taxes. Like all this stuff boils down to maybe you made $4. Yeah, but they see is $55 a product, and I got 5 of them, and I sold 5 of them in a night. No, you made about $20 all said and done in the night. You know what you could have done in that 8-9 hour time frame?
Gone to work.
Yes, you could have done so many things.
I don't know if you saw. I'll send you the story just in case, because I don't know if you saw it already.
Did the one of the I saw it? I think I know which one you're talking about. I think I saw it on J Love's story.
Yep, it was J Love story. Yeah, where he's like, bro, like he's complaining, and no hate to J Love because I don't know what side of the fence he's on. If he's like, yeah, this sucks, the hobby sucks right now, this sucks for this guy, or if he's like, dude, because all he wrote is there's no way. So like. Like just go to work. Priorities.
Yeah, I think assuming like J Love's stance, like
he probably was. He's probably on the same side as us. Like,
yeah, he's probably like, dude, just what are you doing? Like, you like, there's no way this is real.
There's no hate to that guy. Obviously, you just made a real dumb fucking decision. And
he's probably new to
the hobby. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he saw the hype and he wanted to get in on it.
Yep, you can't really. I don't really fault anybody for getting like starry-eyed right now with the hobby.
Yeah,
because it's like it's really fun. It's probably for a lot of people reminiscent of all the other like factors that got them here. So like let's take crypto, sneakers, any other TCG that had hype, maybe One Piece. Like take all these things and then amplify it to the highest one of the largest selling IPs in the world, like the largest selling IP in the world by itself. I think the one with the most tentacles out is Disney with total, but Pokemon is the single, most with one single IP. So it's like you take that, you take what everybody knows about it, and you throw this massive amount of hype, craziness, and probably a level of nostalgia for a lot of people. And you can't really blame people. I get it. It's just like crypto, like the sneaker stuff, like anything else. If you're unaware of it, you might get burned, and you're
100% going to get burned.
Yeah.
Icy Melon says, "Hi Dama, I do Pokemon as a hobby, and I rarely sell singles to friends who need them for their PC. And that's if you want to sell to your friends, that's one thing. That because you're not trying to make it a business, you're just trying to be like, hey, my friend needs the help with the card. I got the card. Let me do something about it. I'm the same way. Depending on the card, they can just have it. But there's some cards out there like I know what it's worth. Let's make a trade. Let's make a deal. Let's figure something out.
Yeah.
Because I don't consider myself a seller at all. And I think I sell like things to friends every once in a while, just like Icy Melons.
Mm.
I sold the Umbreon VMAX recently this year. And I made money because I got it from a pack. I pulled it myself. So I made money. And people are like, oh, you're just selling it because it's worth a lot of money right now. Well, it's
Is there anything wrong with that?
And then like all of a sudden they're like, oh, you're not a real collector because you sold something. I sold one item in 27 years of being in this hobby.
Yeah.
Like, get the fuck off my dick. We're not the same.
Yeah, dude. It's like there's a difference between like, I mean, there's a fine line with being strictly about money and really loving the hobby for everything it has to offer. And you can do both. That's the concept that a lot of people don't like to talk about.
Yeah.
It's like the simple question that you could always like have is just have somebody that's strictly all collecting for the hobby, whatever. Have them just ask you some general questions that like people that actually collect would know the answer to. And like, if they can do it pretty easily, they probably care about this enough, or they know enough, which if you know enough, you probably care. Like, even if it started as money, if you got to the point where you know a lot, you probably care to a degree. You're probably kind of invested now, whether you meant to be or not.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like, just because I sold one item doesn't mean I'm going to start selling everything.
Yeah.
And just because I'm a collector doesn't mean I don't know how much something's worth. Because even as a collector, I do have my pulse on the market sometimes, because there's going to be that day, like when I need to sell a card, and that's what happened. Like, dude, I saw it going up, and I took advantage.
I'm pretty sure back when the first like couple episodes of like the Critical Hit podcast, I think me and Nick had the same exact conversation about how, like, there is a time where shit will hit the fan, and that's going to be the moment where you need to kind of make that conscious decision of knowing what your collection is worth. Because if you don't care anything about value, that's fine. But if that day comes and you don't know, you could get burned out of a lot of money you could have made to help
you don't know what app to look at, what price to look at, where to find TCG Player. And again, not sponsored, just really like the app. Collector is amazing. Even if you're a new collector and you're buying cards, Collector Alt TCG Player is amazing, because if you don't know the price and you don't think it's a fair price, or you have that gut feeling like, oh, let me double check it, because even if you go to a show and that's their job to know these prices, I want to say 95% of the time they're going to look at the card because it's not priced, and like, oh, let me, like, how much are you asking for? They're not going to know off the top of their head unless they've been asked all day. But I don't think it's only happened to me once where someone was like, what are you doing? I'm looking up the price. You're not allowed to do that. That's my job. I'll look it up for you. I just walk away. Like, I'm not. Like, you're not for me, bud.
It's.
Icy Melon says, personally, for the side hustle, I build gaming PCs, and that is a huge return for work. If you know how to do it, plus I work. Bro, that is a side hustle. Building PCs is definitely going to make money, because you can get the pieces not for fairly cheap, because some of them are expensive, but because you can add on your hours you worked on it, not just like, hey, I built this PC, here's the cost of the parts, here's a small upcharge, here you go, have a nice day. Fuck that. You better charge them for the time you spent on that. That's a good side hustle. I see.
That's another thing people forget. Like, business is time. It's like, I used to, when I first got into all this, I was like, time. I don't know why are people like, I don't understand why people are charging extra for time. And then you put in God knows how many hours, both consciously and subconsciously daily, because you're constantly thinking about it, or checking things, or understanding prices, or knowing this and that, or trying to get deals situated for whatever. It's the time aspect is nuts, because when you get older, like, you're not just like a teenager who has all this accessible time. Your time starts to become limited, and there's other things you want to do at that time. So you kind of have to, like, really value your time the more you get into that side of things.
Absolutely. Time is so underrated for the younger generation, that they're like, oh, it's fine, I got time. No, you don't.
It dries up.
It goes real quick after a while. Kev the Pokego says, good call. I give cards away all the time, but suddenly they want the reverse holo legendary collection, and then you pause for a bit. I remember when no one wanted those reverse holos from the legendary collection.
People thought they were ugly.
Because they were reverse holos. They're not the holos. Icy Melon says, I recently traded the Chase Pika from Surging Sparks for 6 151 booster bundles and $120 on top. That's a nice deal. That probably happened recently. It probably had to be a graded one too, right? At that point. That's a good trade. What did you get your Pikachu back from PSA yet? What was the grade on?
Oh yeah, that's so what happened with that Pikachu, funny enough, got the Pikachu, I sent it out, and I did the rookie mistake that, we've all graded cards, and graded a lot of cards, but anytime
you forgot to send one out in Semi Ridge, didn't you?
even worse, I forgot to put the label on the side of the box. So expedited turned into a month and a half, and then it comes back and it's a 9. And I'm like, oh my God, that's hilarious. So it was so funny. It was so damn funny.
I sent a whole stack of cards. Like I don't know why. I know how it happened because the stack of cards I sent were like directly after a stream. I'm like, you know what? These cards are perfect. It was right after my 1,000 stream. So I picked 20 cards that I pulled from my 1,000 stream celebration. I was so excited for all of them because I opened a Team Rocket return, got a holo Vileplume from it.
That's sweet.
I packed it up, I shipped it, and as soon as I got the notification that it's got sent to PSA, I'm like, I look in my drawer where I keep all my supplies. I'm like, I didn't send my Ridge a single fucking one. So they're all just penny sleeved, cardboard, and good luck. I was like,
it's like the gamble of, oh no, what's gonna happen?
I think they did really well though, because the lowest grade of that stack was an 8.
Oh, especially if you're doing if you have Team Rocket returns and stuff like that's they're rough.
Yeah, they're super
rough.
Tam Fam says, "What's up, Gonzo? Hi, Tam Fam. How you doing?" Dude. Sorry, I got to re-chat from my phone because my computer froze. I'm glad everything's still working though. Sleeping Snorlax says, "Hello, everybody." Icy Melon says, "I use Pokedata. I've never heard of Pokedata. I'll have to check them out." Kev the Pokego says, "You don't pay for the parts, you pay for the experience." So it's probably backtrack into when we're talking about building the PC. But even then, for this stuff, you're paying for experience too, because there's so many rip and chippers that pop up during these times, and they just and they're opening Japanese cards. They're like, "Oh, that card's weird. Look, it's just a mouse. What? That's an apple." Dude, you don't even know the names.
One of my favorite things, it always happens at the beginning of a new gen, is when the bigger creators who are a little bit they're in touch with the hobby but a little out of touch, they'll open the new set and they'll be like, "Oh, we got this one."
And then they have the name. My son and I we're watching the anime right now, and he loves it. He thinks it's so cool that Florigato has a yo-yo.
Dude, every day, you'd think that from people expecting something of the content I make, that you'd expect my Discord is just flooded with what are we pumping? What are we doing? Where's the money? In reality, it's 2 or 3 people being saw the anime this week. Did you see when Sarah went crazy? They're like, that was so cool.
Is so good. Sarah is so underrated. And I think he's gonna, when people start watching the anime, because it happened the last boom too, people got back into the anime. I think the Sarah cards are gonna go they're good cards, they're great artwork. I think they're gonna go up just a little bit more.
If there's a Gen 9 Mon that goes into other gens and kind of stays every now and then, that kind of floats back in sets, Sarah Ledge and
Sarah Ledge is going to be
definitely be the two that kind of complement, but Sarah Ledge for sure is really, really solid.
Yeah. Sleeping Snorlax says the Pokemon Horizons is peak Pokemon in my opinion, still tailored to little kids, but far better than the older ones. I agree. I think they're for older kids. I would say they're for tweens, because there's an episode I saw the other day. I'm like, that's definitely not for a child, but I don't remember what it was.
Fucking Gengar just fuck you. It's okay.
yeah. Which is weird to say that it's not for little kids, because we were saying earlier, Ash died multiple times in the anime.
They had some scenes back then that were wait a minute.
James had giant tits at one point.
Yeah, they had to ban that shit from English viewing from what was it? From the old where they'd play. It wasn't Toonami, it was the other one.
It was Kids WB.
Kids WB, yeah. And they so many the Tentacruel episode, because that was sensitive due to 9/11 with the buildings falling, because Tentacruel
the giant Tentacruel
destroying everything.
The episode where Ash catches 30 Tauros, I get that question all the time, what episode did he catch 30 Tauros? So I was he went to the Safari Zone and they put a gun to his head. Yeah, and they're what the fuck?
There's one of the coolest things, a little niche thing. Also, what's up, Nick? Nick's in chat.
Yeah, he's where you're his favorite scalper.
One of the coolest products it's really funny is in the one stickers.
Sorry, I saw Nick's comment. Don't forget Porygon. He didn't even do anything.
Dude, it was Pikachu.
Yeah. And that's the crazy part, that Porygon has never been in an anime since then. He hasn't been in an episode since then.
He took the heat, man. So the Pika could live on.
Yeah.
Probably a smart move, to be honest.
Yeah.
Put the blame on Porygon.
They essentially treated him like Tinkerbell. I don't know if you get that reference. So when Walt Disney created Disneyland, Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse were not the original mascots. Tinkerbell was. So Mickey wouldn't be attached to it if it failed.
Oh, yeah. That's smart. Oh, I see it. Yeah, they probably did that. I can see that.
Don't forget Time Social, I think, combined with Japanese humor. Gotta love that stuff.
Dude.
Yeah.
The art box stickers, the English art box stickers, there's I think it's a hollow or like a prism. And it's literally Jesse and James holding machine guns.
Yeah.
Every time, or I think James is, maybe Jesse's not, but James has it. And anytime I see it ever, it's just James with the gat. So like we've had like people throughout the past 3 years just religiously like in the community, they'll be like, I just got James with the gat in a PSA 4. I got it in a 5. I got it in a 6. I'm almost done completing the entire 1 through 2. I'm like, dude, what the
That's awesome. That's
like,
dope.
It's so cool.
Yeah. Dom's Deck says, off topic, anyone seen Leonhardt's latest video? That's not off topic. We were talking about that. That's something we discussed while we were killing time. He did a trade up challenge.
Is it a real trade up or is it I'm Leonhardt, give me more trade up?
Both. He wanted it to be I'm Leonhardt, but he wanted it to be I'm more not real? Leonhardt, I'm just doing a trade up, but the vendors knew. They knew, like, hey, we're going to be on a channel that has over 2 million subscribers. Let's get this.
Yeah.
Is
it like, was he like complacent in that, or was he more like, no, you don't have to, like, or was he just kind of like going?
I haven't watched all of it. I just watched like the intro with chat tonight, but they were telling me he was trying to do a Shining Fates ETB, Shining Fates for a Hidden Fates ETB. So at that point, he's definitely trying to use his name.
Yeah, that's a little. Yeah.
Like if you're trying to go Shining Talpaldean is a little more accurate, but even then, I think that's a stretch.
Imagine he proposes it like, I'm going to trade my Shining Fates pre-COVID ETB, or right when the hard scalping Shining Fates ETB, that's the value of this one.
Yeah.
For your Hidden Fates release ETB, that's the value of yours. So
Tam
just giving you more.
Tam Fam just says nope. The comments are crazy. I'm surprised he hasn't taken down this video yet either, because of the comments. They're all saying the same thing, like, oh, like it's just because you're you. Opossum Bud says it is a real trade up challenge is a wild question.
Oh, Jason, that's funny. Jason Page signed the Shining Fates one, so it's worth more. I don't get paid, man.
Fucking brutal. Trying to trade Shining Fates for Hidden Fates is if I recall correctly. Yeah. It was fucking. That was when I saw it, I was like, it's wild. Because even
$80 ETB for a 200, 300 for whatever it is.
Yeah, I don't even think Shining Fates is $80. I think it's in the 3 digits again.
Oh, it's up to 3 digits now.
Yeah, that's because there's 2 Charizards in there. We're talking about that in the chat too. Like the Rainbow Charizard's 125, the Shiny Charizard's 225 now.
Wasn't Rainbow Zard from Champion's Path?
Yeah. Champion's Path. I'm sorry, my mistake. We looked up Champion's Path for some reason. I don't remember why. We were just talking about it. I think because that's what he got the trade for.
Okay.
Yeah. We were talking about in chat. I haven't fully watched it yet. But if the comments have anything to say about it and what chat was saying earlier, it 100% sounds like he wanted to do a real one. But they're like, nah, you're Leonhardt. We need to make sure we get in this video, so we're going to do this trade.
Yeah. Big Lee's trying. He's trying to turn a leaf, and I can appreciate it. I can see where it's hard for him, but
that's like, I think his biggest, like the the trade the binder challenge he did that he completely nuked, he should have just left up and just either did a pinned comment or put in the description like,
Pat.
I understand Pat does this, and he's like,
Yeah.
I don't want to, like, just an inspiration, like, just like, yeah, I was inspired to do it just like everyone else, because I'm inspired to. That's where my binder challenge came from.
Yep.
That's the thing. He didn't turn it into a Leonhardt video. He turned it into a DPM video with a guest host.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like editing style and everything.
Yeah, I heard like down to the editing, it was pretty
Mm-hmm.
like a very almost replica of the entire format.
Thumbnail
Like,
and everything.
yeah, it's a little
Like I get that. Like what's the saying? It's the greatest form of compliment, like copying or whatever it is.
uh-huh.
Yeah, but like you're a content creator with over 2 million subscribers. You can do better.
Yeah, I mean it
Like,
says a lot about
like,
the state
whoever
of
was on his team was like, yeah, this is good. Put the stamp of approval on it. Fire that guy, Lee.
Yeah. I mean, he's like, I mean, Lee's a smart guy. It's just he makes some goofy decisions sometimes, and I don't know if it's him. Does he have a team that could, like, Rare Candy? Is there like an overarching guy above Lee that's like, you should do this, Lee?
Yeah.
Like, this is what you're gonna do.
Yes, Kev,
I don't
that's
even
what I
know.
meant. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. That's what I was saying.
Mm.
Sleepy Snorlax wants to know, you think you would ever do a trade down video? No. I think that is strictly going to be a Powder thing. Powder's the only person I know who's done it and probably will do it. Honestly, it would have been pretty gangster to leave it up and, yeah, I ripped off Pat. What about it? says Opossum Bud. Yeah, that, like, even if he did that, I would have been like, yeah, all right, you win this round. That's fucking good. Like, that's awesome. It was funny because I even saw one comment. They're like, dude, he even tried to find his own Gonzo and Ian to help him out in the video. I was like, ooh, that one hits hard. that hits home.
Dude, it's like I
watched the whole video before it got nuked. It's a good video, but it's a good video for those reasons we just talked about.
Yeah, like the only critique I have of recent Lee content is like the content's actually good. It's entertaining. You can watch it and like I can actually watch it. I used to not be able to watch this content. I was like, all right, another base set 2-pack. But now it's like I can watch it. But the thing about Lee is just his cadence is very like, I don't know how else to put it, but his cadence is very interesting. It's for some people it's great, and for other people it's like
I think it's
like robotic.
I'm curious on his cadence because, like, maybe it's because of just how he did law school and how he did his lawyer stuff. Because, like, that's something that we need to remember. He is a smart dude. He knows how to argue with people if he really wanted to. He's intelligent, and he knows how to. He should understand how to dumb it down for the general public. But I also don't know what kind of lawyer he was.
Yeah, like he could just be like socially awkward because it seems like the person that he is when he's with people is like taking the persona in front of the camera alone and just bringing it to those social situations. And it's like, it comes off weird in a sense. It's like, if I'm talking to a camera, like, oh, da, 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 and blah, blah, and then I get in front of people and I'm just not like, oh, yo, what's up, man? How you doing? Like, yeah, we're going to do this. But I'm like, oh, it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Why are you doing all that?
Yeah, and I want to make it clear, I'm not hating on Leonhardt at all. I don't think anyone is. I just think it was kind of goofy that he did it. I like Lee. He's a good dude. I met him at Card Party, and he went out of his way to come talk to me and Ian at the signing events before they started. And he's a good dude. He definitely has a on camera character, and then he has the him character. He has him. And I think for content creation, especially nowadays, you don't want to be a character. You want to be you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to see more of Lee in videos and not Leonhardt. I think.
Right. Yes, exactly.
The social perspective of the community, I think a lot of people would, especially who've been around here a little bit, would appreciate that a lot because they'd be like, oh, sweet. Like that's
why I started watching his content again, because that's what I felt like was happening when he was going to the GameStops and before the GameStop ad video that happened. But again, I don't think that was him. That I 100% believe that was GameStop who did that. But those videos I thought were really well, and the videos that he did where he's learning how to play the TCG, I think those were great because I think his personality was showing out. Him, not the Leonhardt. Yeah.
Shout out,
yeah. Opossum says he was a bankruptcy and family affairs lawyer, I believe.
Okay, then he showed up to like a failing LGS, and he's like, "Here's my legal advice for bankruptcy."
Yeah, so he'd probably be the perfect person to talk about some of the business LLC stuff for your taxes.
He'd be good at that.
Yeah. But yeah, that makes sense. But if that's probably why he might know how to talk to a jury, but it depends on how often he actually went to trial though too, and what kind of trial they went to. Was it a bench trial?
Yeah. Did he like did he was it confirmed that like he completed the bar, he completed law, he completed all that, and like he was a so like I'm curious like clearly he doesn't know, he's not telling anybody shit, but like that'd be interesting to know like a little bit more about like the Lee backstory.
I think he did that video years ago. I want to say even before he hit 1 million. I think he did that. Like he got interviewed by a local news station in Texas, and then he made a video about that. And they went into detail. Yeah. That's an old one. Yeah, that was a really good one. Because he talked about how he left his practice. Not his practice, but he left the practice he was working at, I should say.
Yeah, I mean like you're mid Pokemon Go boom, Pokemon card boom, like things are crazy, and you're making more money in a day off that than you or more money in a month off like ad revenue than you probably were as a stressed out lawyer. I have a buddy in LA who's he's an entertainment law, and he's like yeah, he makes good money. Yeah, he can live in a nice place, do whatever he wants with the time he is off, but it's like the hours he has, it's right. I think I work hard, and I'm like I work really hard, but like him, I'm like, dude, how do you where do you have time for anything?
I barely work hard. I need to work harder because I need to make that money. I'm too poor to be in the hobby now, according to
we're all no more good cards for cheap. Yeah, we're all screwed.
No, I was talking about a specific creator who said, if you can't afford it, get out of the hobby and go back to work." I'm paraphrasing, but that's essentially what he said. Merc wants to know, what about the Whispering Library openings? I didn't care for those. I think that's when I unsubbed from them because I was like, no, we're good.
There's a good meme about those. Merc probably knows it. There was like somebody put like in text or like when I pull the card of it's like epilepsy or some sort, like the card of seizures, and then you see Lee like freaking out and shaking.
Yeah, I remember that one. Tamfam says, I've never been too entertained, but I rarely watch long form videos. I spend more times in lives. I think that's what a lot of people do now. Like for the TCG side and the collecting side, I'm definitely in more lives, but for the video game side, I do both. I like long form content and the live stream content. Opossum says, yeah, Lee was law practicing bar number certified lawyer, and he did that for about a year if he recalls.
Yeah, so he probably did it for a year and was like, ugh, this is too much.
I got bills to pay, and being a lawyer is not working out. According to my boss, I don't work hard, says Sleepy Snorlax. Joey's calling him out on his bowel movements, saying he takes too many bathroom breaks. Yet somehow I get most done. I don't know how that's even possible.
Become your own boss, and then you can tell yourself you're lazy, and you don't have to do anything about it.
Or get married, and your wife will tell you you're lazy.
Or get married and make your wife work, and then you can do nothing.
Yeah, that's what I want to do, but my wife wants to take care of the kids. I can do that.
I couldn't. My girlfriend's nuts, dude. She can handle a baby all day, and I'm like, yeah, I'll change her.
Yeah,
I can do that.
I hate seeing the ones like, I don't know, like some parents, I'm sure they're joking, but like when I gotta take my kids with me because my wife is busy or she needs a break, and I take them to like the park or to the grocery store, And people are like, oh, you're babysitting today? Like, no, motherfucker, I'm parenting. Like,
Yep.
there's a difference. I'm not getting paid for this bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. When you have babies and you're like, you have a significant other, it's a two-way street, it's whoever makes the money is not like better. It's like raise a child. See how like that is harder than most jobs in the world. Like that shit is rough. And it's like
it's hard.
Yeah, I do like 20% of it.
It's
and
fun.
I'm like, that's why like I would because you get that like time and everything, but like the 20% of the time I can like be like really like doing the things that are like the shitty things, like the changing the diaper, like the stuff where it's like you do it and you love it and you're because you're a parent, but like you're like, do you want to do it? I don't really want to. You don't want to do it? I'll do it. Like the kind of things where you'd bicker about doing, like the getting the bottle at 3:45 in the morning, like waking up mid sleep, like you're running off of fumes and like you get an hour and then you're just and you're like, I'll do it. Like that stuff. Like the majority of the time she's doing it. She's an absolute trooper, and I'm like, thank you.
My wife is the best because I can't wake up to save my life when So she'll take care of him. Jay says it's always old men that tell me that you're babysitting. I see. Nah, bitch. I like being a father.
Your father's cool.
Yeah. Opossum says, got to get back to work. Nice. Good seeing you, handsome fellas. Nick, I appreciate your face. Thank you for the 10. I can't wait to see you again. Nick's my boyfriend. If you guys don't know, there's a professor. So I made like a little highlight reel. Well, my iPhone did because I'm lazy for the Collecticon weekend. And there's a photo that I took because my wife is like, oh, what are you guys doing? So I'll send her of whatever the fuck I'm doing. And every time she asks for a picture, it's either Nick and I went to go eat somewhere. So it's a picture of him fucking stuffing his face. Or it was like 1:30 in the morning and we just got to the hotel room and Jay's with us that night. Mm-hmm. I don't give a shit. I'm comfortable in my sexuality where I know I'm straight, whatever. I'm in the Navy. You can make all the gay jokes you want. I sleep in my fucking briefs or basketball shorts at the most. Yeah. So I'm shirtless, laying next to another grown man while another grown man's in the other bed in a hotel room. And I just take that quick that capture and that I didn't take it out and it got to the reel. Professor Metry screenshotted it. And he drops it in the CHP Discord anytime he gets the opportunity.
Just boys being boys.
Just boys being boys. I don't give a shit. Yeah. Like, what are you like? Oh, my two straight friends are gonna rape me? No, that's not how that works.
Yeah, we're just hanging out.
We're just hanging out. Dude, like, but they wouldn't care if we were at a pool. They're like, oh, look at that gay dude at a pool with the shirt off. Yeah. What?
Hey, look at that gay guy. He's pretty hot, isn't he? Hey, look at him. Look at him. Muscles.
Metri says socks or no socks. I'm not a monster. I go no socks. But it's in Southern California. I don't need to be that warm. Yeah, man. Why did it sound like Jay was the third wheel? He absolutely was the third wheel. Sleepy knows definitely three-way energy, says Joey. These are the questions, but tell us, who's your favorite, Jay? Well, if Jay has a favorite, it's definitely going to be me. He did the rollover, rub the arm. You awake?
Exactly. This is very straight male behavior. This is what we do. We were programmed for this.
No, he did it. Well, I don't know if he did it I'm sure he did it on purpose accident. Like he didn't mean to do it to me, but he definitely did it.
Hey, baby.
We were both like, we were out cold and we're both asleep. We're back to back and I can feel the movement in the bed because Joey's a giant. And I kind of wake up and all of a sudden I feel and he caressed my arm. I'm like, Joey, I didn't move his arm. I didn't flick it off. I just said, Joey, you good? And he goes, huh? Oh, damn. And just rolls back over. Like, I don't know if we woke up Nick or what, but it was the funniest. Like, as soon as I woke up, like, we woke up and Nick was awake, I was like, hey, Nick, Joey put his moves on. He tried to put the moves on me.
Oh my god.
I love it. Like, but it's just stories you get to tell with the community because they're funny. Like, did something happen? You guys will never know.
There's lots of pumping going on in the community, and all the cards are staying the same price.
Exactly. All the pumps were real.
The pumps are real.
It was all the shakes we were doing. I cuddle with Gonzo, says Joey. He felt the movement. It was just a response. Gonzo thought he was at home still. Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying. You like it was on accident, but like deep down, it was on purpose. He just forgot where he was. Top 5 nights ever, says Jay's Corner. Yeah, man. Have you ever been to a Collecticon or card party or any of these events, the big events yet?
No, I haven't been to any. Not one yet.
Do you plan on going to any?
Yeah, I definitely would like to show up at one. It's definitely because like pre-baby, girlfriend had like a strict work schedule. Post-baby, we got baby, and then she's at that age where it's like, how would you situate it? How would you do this? And then like with stuff I do outside of all this, it's just like it's the time is super limited, so it's trying to find one that would work. So it's like I would definitely really like to. I just got to find the right one.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I can tell from experience. Last year, I took my wife and both kids to last year's card party, and that was still in the same. The venue was in the hotel, and yeah, a little bit was because I was a feature creator last year that it was difficult to be with them because I was all over the place. People wanted to talk to me, and my wife is very much like, yeah, I'll talk to some people, but I still need my space. And my son was 1.5 at the time.
Yep. And
it was like, okay. And traveling with a 1-year-old on a plane was brutal. So this year, since she was going to come with us, her and the kids were going to come with me this year. But once we found out the venue was not in the hotel, and the odds are, I don't know yet. But I'm just saying the odds are I'll probably be a feature creator again just because of all the memories I made with Pat and all the other stuff and the connection.
At that point, it's like if just because you show up pretty religiously in videos, like you're a part of the videos. You know what I mean? I would be pissed if, like, for instance, say I was a Mr. Beast fan and like one of Mr. Beast's friends who's in every single video is just like not there. Everyone would be like, where is he? Like,
where's Carl?
We like you, but we want to see him too. Like we like him, Yeah,
because they also build a fan base.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. His producer sends me screenshots of comments all the time, and he was like, "They love you." I was like, "I'm gonna go respond to them and make their day." It's not only am I building a community with my own community, I'm building one with his.
Yeah.
But like knowing that it's going to be at a convention center this year, not the hotel, she's like, yeah, there's no way I'm going. She's like, I'm not going to travel with a 2-year-old this year, and then not know because only a handful of people know about this event that happened, our card party 2. The fire alarm went off on the floor my wife was staying on at 8:30 in the morning. I was down all the way at the venue. Like, if you guys went to card party 2, you guys know where the venue was compared to where the rooms were. It was like a 5 to 6 minute walk if no one was in your way. So she's trying to call me, but I can't pick up the phone because I'm on stage hosting the pack battles. So she's trying to get down from the 13th floor of a hotel in her pajamas, in the kids' pajamas, one screaming because he's 1 year old and there's a fucking alarm going off in the room. He needs a change diaper. She was mad at me, but she understood why she couldn't be mad at me. She was just frustrated.
Yeah, it's just a shit situation.
Yeah. And so she's like, yeah, if that happens again, she's like, no, I can't do that.
It's just...
She was like, because this year was bad. No, you were in the building and you couldn't do anything.
Yeah, so like, God forbid something occurs and you're however far away,
Even if it's another false alarm, because everyone knew it was a false alarm, but my wife is very much like, I'm still going to follow procedures because I don't want to get someone in trouble or someone hurt. So yeah, she's like, no, if it happens again for some godforsaken reason, God forbid, I hope it doesn't happen. She's like, I don't want to be on the double digits floor and having to walk downstairs while with a baby screaming while people are taking their fucking luggage with them. Like an old lady needs help being carried down the stairs, which apparently did happen. Thankfully, there was a guy that was strong enough to carry her down 16 flights of stairs.
Jesus.
Yeah.
What a guy. What a trooper. That's nuts.
Gonzo is Carl confirmed, says Joey. Sleepy Snorlax says Chandler is his favorite. Gotta run. Gotta see you soon, Gonzo. Have a great night. Good night, Tam fam. We love you. This is probably the best thing I could be listening to while cooking. New day. I appreciate that.
Let's go.
Awesome.
It's a good new day.
Yeah. From janitor to paid. Yeah. Chandler started out as a janitor. That's Joey was with me when some of it went down. Nick was with me when it went down. Nick, this is how good of a friend Nick is. We hung out all that whole weekend, and when that happened, he walked with me. He didn't have to, but he did. He went with me to go meet up with my wife at the meetup spot for the hotel, and then helped her go back up to helped all of us get back up to the room. So did Virginia. His wife Virginia also helped. They're amazing. They're definitely, when I say he's one of my best friends, I don't necessarily mean just in the community anymore. Me and him made a legit friendship. I'd smash. Gonzo, I've never been to card party. Are the pack battles set up like Yu-Gi-Oh duels? No. So the pack battles that I'm talking about that happened is the card party gets split up into two different teams for the content creators, and they do points. So not only are the content creators split up into teams, but so is everybody. The attendees, everyone has these points, and then these points go to the team, and then whatever team has the highest points at the end, only the people who registered, because you also have to register for the team. You just can't be like, oh, I'm on silver, and then you have a gold wristband on. It doesn't work that way. I don't remember how they did it, but it's like you get the opportunity to go on stage and win vintage packs to open on stage. Those pack battles were for the content creators. It was like I hosted one. It was Ian with Ian, Polka Diz versus Surge and Chris Pie TCG. So they all take turns opening packs for points, and then we didn't get to keep those cards. We handed them out to kids watching the pack battle. Thankful was a false alarm. Couldn't imagine, says Kev. Hey Dama, how's it been with you juggling the content with a relationship, new baby, struggling like the rest of us, or do you just groove with all of it? Asked Joey.
I don't know. I run on fumes. It's like, I think give you a good example. I think of in the last 3 days, I think I'm rocking about 6 hours of sleep, but you just kind of get used to it. It's not healthy, but you do it. Cause it's cause my dad is, dementia. So that's making sure he's good all the time. Business outside of Pokemon, the Pokemon business, and then baby, and then prep for new baby. So it's
new baby, hell yeah, high five! You got it. You got it in.
Yeah.
It's
it's constantly, it's always something, but it's you do it because clearly you love it. You learn from it because I feel like one of the most valuable things about all this stuff at once, doing it all at once, is you kind of intake everything like a sponge, and you learn really quickly from all the shit going on.
Yeah.
And then there becomes a point where you kind of just learn what the best thing to do is in every situation to make the best of everything and figure it out. And but the only thing that really drags is the sleep, I guess. Your physical health is that's something I got to work on and get better with, and I'm trying to get better with that. But it's trying to find the balance with everything over time. You get better at it. When you're first trying to we're gonna stream every single day, run the business, money good, great, but time low. All right, well, yeah. I don't like that because then I can't do this. I can't give time to other people. Let's correct it a little bit. What if we adjust this and adjust this where it's kind of like more even and it's more works in a better way? Then I can do this and this. Well, that's great. But then something else kind of falters a little bit. So then you're like, well, how can we fix that? And it's basically like you go through the ropes again and again and again and again until you have time management correct with everything. And then
but then something else happens.
Yeah. So it's like you're never going to get it perfect. So you just kind of you either run on fumes and you can accomplish everything you want and feel good, or you give up one a little too much and let the others thrive. So it's like, I don't know. It's just day by day.
Yeah. So that's like having timing, especially with you, because not you said you had another job, a full-time job, and then you do this as a hobby. Well, it's not even a hobby at this point because it's a business.
It's a business, yeah.
Yeah.
The numbers on my taxes make this is a business. And again, it clearly, like we talked about earlier, like you take all your actual earnings and all that stuff, and then that comes down to what that comes down to. And it's like it's not like I'm making, hundreds of thousands of dollars posts taking everything off from this. Like I don't. I just formulated in a way where I don't have to give 12 hours of my time like lots of rip and shippers do. Like it, and that's people that can do that. You're nuts. Like in the nicest way, you're nuts. That's insane. Like I could not even do that.
12 hours. It's 12 hours, 5 days out of the week.
Plus all the time to get the product, to talk to who you need to ship, to like that's, to me, that's crazy. Like that's where I formulate with what I do. It's like, instead of doing, and there's other reasons for this that I've kind of come to terms with, that like instead of doing like 50 orders a night, 10 to 20 to $30 an order, I'm gonna do one, but it's gonna be $2,000 or $3,000, or I'm gonna do 2 or 3 orders that are 2, 3, whatever each. So like that week's worth of ratios I can do in that period of time, but I'm gonna make it fucking worth it for whoever's doing it. I'm gonna make it disgustingly worth it, where it's like you're not going to find anything else like that. So then I can bang it all out.
I think that's what makes you stand out from most what we would call rip and shippers is you tell them like, you get into this buy, you'll get the packs.
Yeah, we don't have to gamble.
You're going to get these cards, and I will grade. What are you grading, one card or 2 cards now?
So like so I'll give you an example. I'll just break it down what like our deal tonight was. And I think I have an email in regards to someone wanting to do it, but I'll get that later. So the deal is like, right, out of these things we have called the lucky bags, which again, sounds very gimmicky. I should probably change the name, but we just kind of stuck with it. But like, let's say the bag contains, I don't know, a Latios or illustration rare, right? Let's say that's what you get. It's $100 for a bag. So you get a Latios, you're down 60, right? Well, we give you free grading on that if you're buying more than 2 bags at once. Like we're offering that as a thing we offer. It's not something you pay for, but we offer it. And if you want to do another grading company, we'll figure out the difference. So basically, instead of you have to paying $60, $70 for someone to middleman you PSA, maybe you just try to throw me an extra 5 and we'll throw it there. But if you want like CGC, because they're cheapest tier right now, we'll do that. But then all the cards you're getting I'm looking through them like a madman to make sure they're the highest quality, no damage, no anything. And then like our return rates of 10s and pristines and high grades, like support that. But then let's say like, for instance, tonight, we were like, all right, you spend $2K with us. I'll give you all of the Chase SIRs from 151. So like the Zard, Blastoise, Venusaur, all near mint. I'll give you the Roaring Moon SIR from, what is it? New set. Prismatic. I'll give you this Mewtwo Strikes Back old Japanese telephone card slab in a 10, which is like $300. I'll give you 5 ARS grading spots, which ARS grading spots are worth their weight in gold. Like they're over. Anybody who's tried to get ARS grading knows how valuable these things are, and then the premiums on the cards that grade with them.
For a long time, they're like Japanese only. If you don't have a Japanese address, we don't want to work with you.
They're still like that. If you do not have a Japanese address, and you can't have a proxy, because they're going to send the paperwork to your address, and you have to fill it out in Japanese. So if you can't do that, you can't grade with them. And then you have to be accepted for grading with them. And then you have to then you have X amount of spots you get per individual. You get 20. But then again, you have to beat all the other things to then get that. So most of us who are English, not speaking Japanese, we can't get that unless we find a middleman. So he has to do all that work, get all this, which he probably has done it for himself. And then he's going to have to want to give them up. If you know anybody in the Japanese market right now who's a middleman, they know how they can make money right now off Westerners in any way. You just look at like them getting MSRP boxes for 30 USD, and then they flip them for 100. Like they know the money they can get off us, and so you're going to be stuck in a position where they're like, well, maybe it costs them overall for grading with ARS, maybe it costs them $40-$50, but they know you want my spots, you're going to pay me. I'm going to make a good 100 per card, and you'll do it because the premium support, you will do it. Like if I send Umbreon, which I just did, I sent Dark Zard from Japanese Rocket, and I sent Umbreon SAR from Terrestrial Festival, and then like some other of the Terrestrial Festival evolutions. The Umbreon and the Zard both got 10 pluses, and the Zard is worth now like 3,500, and the Umbreon's worth like 15 to 2K.
Right.
The whole submission cost, you know, maybe if I just took the submission cost and sold everything off, I'd probably make like $5 to $6 grand. So it's like the premiums make sense for paying the premium on the cards that I'm sending. But again, you have to send out the right cards. You have to understand that. You have to know like who's buying them, what's the demand, where should you sell it. But the spots themselves are like almost like 220 per spot. For me, it's like a little less than that. But for what, you know, the people are getting, it's like I'll give you 5 free ARS grading spots, and I only have 20 to work with in most cases. I just got my guy to get his other guys to give up their spots because the amount he was making off it, I guess his other friends who have the spots decided, we'll give you our spots too. If you pay it, we'll do it. Yeah. So then I was like, sweet, I'll take them. So now I have 60 spots, and there's most people in this hobby don't have any. Like they don't like, there's no English cards being graded with them, or very minimal. And the ones that are, they're double PSA 10 prices and they sell. The Japanese ones, if you know what you're sending out, the premiums are nuts. So it's like you got to know. And
even
like
these high-end Grail collectors aren't. They're not getting it.
Yep. It's just you have to go. It's taken me like 2.5 years to go through the rabbit hole to finally get it. And now that I did, I'm like, well, whoever's here in the community and wants to take advantage of this, you guys are gonna eat. Like so with the recent deal, it's 2K, right? Yeah. 2K for 20 bags with 20 CGC grading spots. If you want to upgrade, you pay it like a little more to like PSA, Beckett, tag, whatever. We'll figure it out. But most people take the CGC base because it's easy money back with the cards you're getting. And
just
then, like,
pay the premium. Don't go with
exactly.
CGC.
Yeah, you pay it into it, and you're getting like 300 for the Roaring Moon. Char's almost 3, so there's 6. Yeah. Blastoise and Veen are basically 100 each. That's 8. The Mewtwo Strikes Backslab's 3. That's 1,100. And then the ARS spots are worth like 660, so that's 1,760. And then I'm going to give you 5 free slabs, 100 of this hot box we have, which is random, like $3 to $10 cards from English. And then I'll probably throw you like a bunch of the Mimikyus that I just bought a lot of. So like you're getting all your value right up front back to you. And then whatever you get post grading, that's the profit. And that's where like a lot of people constantly come back because it gets wild. But like it works for us because
then you also got to think about like the other sub collectors, like the stamp collectors, the sequential collectors. Like you get the Venusaur, Charizard, and Blastoise in sequential order
with ARS
and sell it to somebody. Yeah,
dude. Imagine if they all hit like 10s in ARS in English in a Japanese specific comp. Like somebody would pay a ridiculous, like more than 2K probably for that. That would pay for the order alone, you know?
Yeah. Right.
And then it's like you consider all of it, you take it all into like you kind of do the math on all of it. I can do it because I've done it for this long. I know how to formulate the odds. And like, let's say altogether, because of everything I'm adding in there or doing, maybe it cost me like 1,200, but their return might be 4,000 plus. So it's like we both make out really well. And even in the case where things don't go perfect grading wise, they still profit. And that's the goal. You don't have to take that gamble of like, hey, spend $300 on this Japanese rocket pack and you're going to get a holo, but it might be it might be Dark Magneton, which is like $10. And then
which is
you got to get
really
lucky. Oh, especially because of the QC on that card with the print lines. It's so, but like you're basically, it's like you're paying more of a premium, but if you do, you're not taking that gamble. You're taking on every other little thing. And also, it helps me in that way because there's this cute little thing. Recently, I've kind of had to consider a little bit because of how we were running things. There's this cute little thing called Nexus in terms of taxes, and maybe I don't reach it in the form of like with like Nexus, how it works. So like say if I'm in New Jersey and I'm selling to people in Mississippi, California, say, like I don't have to do Nexus there. But if I do a sale with somebody in Mississippi or New Jersey, if I'm from New Jersey, I'm a Nexus in that state, so I have to pay sales tax.
Right.
If I do $100,000 of sales to Mississippi, let's just say, or 200 individual transactions, you know how easily it is to reach that transaction amount if you're doing packs or you're doing single cards or stuff where like it's very quick transactions and you go through 50 a night from a single, like, and then once you reach that Nexus, you have to apply to that state to pay their sales tax. And if you're not doing like a Shopify or a Wix that just considers that percentage, you have to pay that. So it's like, it's another reason why I just like the flat out shebang of like bigger orders. You're getting a lot more. It works for you, but I've told people time and time again, and I've seen lots of people for the past couple of years try to replicate what I do, and they never make it work because it doesn't make sense if you don't know what you're doing.
I think the only person that does it that I can think of successfully is Goated Pools.
Yeah, exactly. And that's yup. Literally, I've talked about this many times before because the methodology behind Goated Pools, and I'd love to talk with him about it one day because basically what he does to a T is what Japanese stores do in Japan. They do this thing where they take 4 or 5 chase slabs, and they're like $2,000 each. Usually not. Maybe it's like 500. So like let's do smaller numbers because it makes sense. Say they have 4 slabs and they're 500 each, and you can pay $100 for a bag, and you can get one of those chase ones. There's 4 of them, but then there's 96 bags under it, and maybe 10 of those other ones are $150 slabs. But then the 84 others are $15 slabs that market are 30. So it's not terrible loss, but the profit ratio that Japanese store owner will make, especially on a busy street where people are constantly going in stores, buying stuff, dumb money, like they'll run through that in a couple days and they'll make $10, $15, $20,000 off of what they're doing. And then they'll just reload it and do it again. The only problem I've ever seen any of them have is finding enough product to consistently do it all the time. And a lot of the guys I know and talk to do this like a lot, and they make stupid fucking money. It's like really dumb, but they do it more of a gambling aspect where it's like the people are aware they're gambling. They are aware that the majority of the time they're probably going to see a loss, but if they hit it that one time, they're gonna. There's that rush, and then there's no gambling in Japan either. So this is basically justified gambling. It feeds that addiction they can't legally do unless they go to a pachinko parlor. So it's like over here it's a little different. You just go to a casino if you wanted to do that.
Right.
But if you want to justify it, Pokemon can do that. But like I don't think like with Goated, I think he offers something with like if you get 2 of the shitty ones, you can go again or something like. I don't know exactly, but like.
I think it was like if you buy 2 bags and they're both duds, you could take the chance to upgrade them where you'll at least break even on the slabs, not like on your purchase.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, if you want to trade in these 2, you can get 1 better card.
It equates to the both of the 2. Yeah. So like they in Japan probably do something similar or they don't at all. But like it's because it's like, but it's there's a lot of interesting like ways to doing things with cards. And like you can't fault anybody that is like actively attempting to do well for you, but also making a profit for themselves.
Right. And
you can't really fault like it'd be the same concept. Like I'm gonna fault a break streamer because I didn't pull the chase card. It's like it's not their fault.
That's so stupid. I mean, like it's always your fault. New Day TCG says, yeah, I totally agree with you, Dama. It's easier than gambling with packs, especially when most packs that include the cards you offer are easily $10+ and not even guaranteed to get a good hit, or even a card a card that get a high grade. Yeah.
So it's just like you take all. What I do is I take a lot of the risk out, and then I do the work for you, and then we both do well. And that's
I want to buy your bags, but because, and it's no fault to you.
It's a high buy-in.
It's a high buy-in, and I have responsibilities as a father. That's like, do I want to buy? And that's the thing as like because I'm not always trying to make a profit on something.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like, do I really want to spend $200 to get 2 cards I might not like? Because if in my eyes as a collector, if I'm spending $200 on 2 cards, I either want to grade them for myself, or it's already graded, or it's something that I really want.
Yeah.
So it's like, is it for me? No, but I enjoy, and that's the thing. Like you're entertaining is one, so that's nice to watch, even as someone who's not buying. And I've never entered in your giveaways, so that should say something about it too. But like if you need to be cautious of what you're doing, because it is essentially like it's gambling on a much smaller level. So be cautious with your money. It goes back to the statement the guy made. I took my day off work to get cards. Dumb.
Yeah, it's like that's why recently we kind of implemented more of this is what we'll offer with the deal, because then it means you don't, it's much less of a gamble in the sense of what you're getting before you even do it. So like that free thing could just solidify I want to do it. Like I don't care what I get after this.
Right.
And that's more like reassurance. But like before, how we formulated it was like, hey, the chase of this round of 30 bags is a Poncho Pikachu. Like you get a Poncho Pikachu, but every other bag might be shit. So are you aware of that? Yeah, I want to do it. And then like some people would snipe it in the first 5 bags, and I'm down X amount, and then we got to run it back. And then eventually, like, because odds are a thing, you formulate a profit like in the long run, no matter what, because just odds are, odds. But there were instances, man, before where like it was we'd go 3 or 4 rounds where it was like someone hit the high tier. 3 rounds, someone hit the high tier. Had to replace, someone hit the high. And it was like, dude, like, there's been some wild, odd situations where I'm like, if I was a new guy trying this, dude, I wouldn't have the money to do it after that. Because so it's like it's a hard situation to replicate if you don't know, like if you're not ready for it and you're not prepped. But like it's wild.
Like, and that's the other thing. Like I've seen a couple of Whatnot streamers. I've seen other rip and shippers here on YouTube do the same thing, where their high tier gets hit early on, and they won't add something like, all right, the high tier got hit, let me add something to it so you guys have a reason to keep buying. Or like
always have to have a replacement.
Or the high tier got hit, let me lower to a nice level amount for the next highest card that's still left.
Yeah,
like they're not adjust like, oh, it's $200. Oh, the $5,000 card got hit. It's still $300, but the highest card in here is $200. Like,
yeah, you constantly have to adjust it.
Yeah, but there's so many people who don't adjust it, and they're not like, the winner will probably take off after that. Like, I have no reason to buy from you. I got what I want. I'm gone. And then the other people are going to stop buying. So if you're going to keep streaming, the people who are in there, they're not going to know what's left, because how many people are going to be honest?
Yep. Or you'll be in a position where it used to happen a lot, and you had to restructure things a lot. Where like if the round started, the people that start the round, like statistically, have the worst chance. Hit it. Well, actually, not always the worst, because the worst can be if the first 2 people, say there's 3 high tiers, and the first 2 people hit 2 of them. Then everyone after that technically has the worst. So it's like nobody's going to buy after that, because they're going to wait for it to whittle down. But who's going to be the one to take the? So you'd have to be in a position where you were like, all right, well, if you make an order, I'll include this, or I'll include this, to kind of like,
I've seen you do that dozens of times. Like, oh, if you next person to order, I'm going to give you 3 free 10 packs of Crown Zenith. I'm like,
and then like then they're like, oh, sweet, and then they hit a goal, and they're like, oh, this is worth it, and then. Like that worked, but then I was like, why not just cut out that what if and just like right off the rip, just be like, all right, let's bag it, let's kick that Nexus worry out of the way, because I don't feel like doing a whole Wix and Shopify right now. One day, but I don't want to deal with that right this second.
Cardboard Collectible says the Carhartt jacket is sweet.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. It's what's called a vest. Girlfriend got it for me at Home Depot for $25. The
What's
good deal.
What's it like having? Because congratulations on the baby again, the new one. That's awesome.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. On purpose or happy little accident?
Yeah, it's. I
Nothing.
feel like there's no accidents. You know what you're doing.
Yeah. Is there anything that you want to talk about before we end it for the night? Everybody who was here beforehand, yes, we probably will run it back. It's not going to be right away. We're going to have to figure out a date so we can give you the whole time with Dama that you all deserve. But let's, before we end it off, shill what you got to shill. Tell the people where they can find you and what they could expect from your channel.
You could find me on YouTube at Dama. I think Dama Collects Cards works as well.
Mm-hmm.
I yap about bullshit every day to every other day in videos, and then streams. We stream a couple times a week, and where we do the things I was just talking about, and it's fun. It's a good time, and yeah, I appreciate you having me on, man.
All right, thank you, everybody. All right, everybody. My name is Gonzo. That is Dama, and again, don't forget, collect how you want to collect. Peace. Now, I can't end the stream properly because my computer froze. So, Dama, I normally would have a nice conversation with you afterwards, but I can't do that. I have to hard turn off my computer. Hopefully, it turns off the stream. Fuck this computer. Where's it was New Day, right? New Day says they making the PCs, or was that was somebody? I'm gonna have to reach out to them later. I think it was Papa. All right, everybody. You guys have a good night. Peace.
Good night, everybody.